124. No Wemby. Yes, there was a problem. Keldon Johnson came to play, paced him with 28, but it wasn't enough. They get a chance to come back tonight, a back-to-backer with the Sacramento Kings in the building, tip at 7 o'clock. Dallas Cowboys All-Pro guard Zack Martin's calling it a year. Will it be a career as he is going to end the season and undergo ankle surgery? I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
You know, we can actually play that now.
Well, Edwin doesn't know. He doesn't do it.
It didn't dawn on me till this very moment that we now have the
Party and yeah.
Unleash the musical earworm.
Oh, that's
on
right.
All those that hear it early. And we'll hum it all day.
Yeah, I know. And people will say, oh, I hate when y'all play that song.
Crap.
But then they'll be thinking about it. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they'll be like, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Gotta get down on Friday. Yeah. Gotta get down on Friday, friends. Happy Friday. We finally made it. I'm down to my last 3 hours and 58 minutes of work. Rob.
You know, when you make a promise,
man,
months ahead, when it's way down the road, oh, no problem.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be another day.
You wanna help out and sit in? Yeah. When months from now? Absolutely.
That's not even a real time.
That's shoot.
I might be dead.
A lot could happen.
If I'm alive, I'll do it.
Absolutely, count on me. And you know, damn it, I survived. Damn it, I'm still alive.
And here you are.
So I will be sitting with minutes. No, I'm excited. We'll be out at the Tri-County Meat Market out on Huebner, if you're new here.
Huebner.
Huebner. When you move to San Antonio, the new folks, if they haven't been indoctrinated by a local, you can always tell if they're new here.
I ask.
Well, you ask because if you're a radio type, we've done enough commercials and endorsements where you've learned to ask questions like, is this street pronounced this way? Because where I'm from, we say it this way. Where a classic example is I used to do voiceovers for this company that was all over the place, but one of their stores was in San Pedro, California.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm from San Antonio. I'd say San Pedro, and they'd kick it back and say you're not pronouncing it right. I'm like, what am I not pronouncing correctly? Well, the name of the town. I'm like, San Pedro? No, that's not right. I was like, no, that's right. What you're asking me to do is wrong.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn to ask those questions.
Well, when you live in Nevada,
Huebner,
you can always tell the people who aren't from there because they say Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada.
And it's like it's a big thing with the locals there. It's like, dude, it's Nevada.
And like here, it's not San Antonio. Don't say it's not Frisco to them.
Uh-huh.
Even though I like saying Frisco, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
But San Antonio, no, just because George sung it, just because they said San Antonio in a song, it was to rhyme. That's not how we say it around here.
Right.
Or it's Huebner. What's the other one that's always throws people off in San Antonio? Days of Allah throws people off.
Yeah.
I'm like, Days of Allah?
I was curious about Culebra.
Yeah.
Even where you live. Helotes.
Yeah. Helotes.
I mean,
Burn.
Or Elotes. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they would say, but.
It's Helotes.
Yeah.
We don't say it right. Bernie, that throws a lot of people off.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's certainly enough, and that's in every town. There's roads. You're like, how the hell do you say that?
But in San Antonio, as we've had this rapid migration toward this place, that's how we tell you apart. That and your new, what's that weird area code people are getting now? Like 846 or something.
Why are there 8 Wurzbachs? Like, I mean,
the Wurzbach family was one of the founding families.
Okay.
So you had some Wurzbachs that moved to one part, and they built a house up at the top of Wurzbach Hill over in the medical center.
Okay.
In fact, my brother used to rent out part of the old Wurzbach mansion way back in the early 90s.
All right.
And then Harry Wurzbach is a family member, but much younger. another generation down.
I would have figured he was like
some other land over there, and that was named for his old land because they moved from downtown, which is where Harry still had land, up to the way out of town up there on the top of the hill where Medical Center came.
So why did Harry get all the roads named after him? Why is he so special?
The original Wurzbach's from the Wurzbach family. That's in the Medical Center. That was all Wurzbach land. But other Wurzbach land, which was basically a old that sounds ancient, but I got a chance to meet old lady Wurzbach.
Okay.
And she used to talk about coming from the original Wurzbach land, which was downtown San Antonio, to the property that they moved out to when she was a kid, was basically a wagon ride out. Like, from downtown to where, like a day's ride down to where they lived in the Medical Center. So it was like a long way away.
We had to pack food.
Basically. So it was a full day's ride from downtown up to the top of the Wurzbach Hill where they moved. But the Harry Wurzbach, that was other land that was donated later. That came part of where Fort Sam, the entryway from Fort Sam onto 35.
Okay. Well, see, the more you know.
Yeah, lots of Wurzbachs around town.
Lots of, I don't know any now.
And like Hebner, which is a weird one, that's a former city manager of ours. Tom Hebner was a city manager in the city back in the 70s and 80s.
Okay. When will there be a Thompson Lane?
There probably are, but none named for us.
Sucks. I always see
there's the Robert Thompson bus terminal outside of the
Alamo Dome. Yeah, I see that, and I always say, "Oh, wow, look at that! That must be Rob's dad is a big swinging D."
Not mine.
Are you sure?
It's not for me.
No, but for your dad.
No, there was actually many people think that because my father was on the city council here in San Antonio.
That's what I mean. When I first saw it, I literally assumed that's what it was.
There's a lot of plaques around town, but at the same time he was serving. There was another Robert Thompson that was very much active and played a huge role in the years that VIA was greatly expanding. And when we built...
What's VIA?
VIA is our public transportation. It's our bus system.
Oh, okay.
As it was growing through really making its big growth, Robert Thompson played a role in that. And they named the bus terminal at the Alamo Dome. The irony of all of this is my father was one of the few city council people that was very much anti-building the dome. He didn't think it was a very good idea, because it wasn't a multi-use facility. It felt like it needed to be for baseball as well. And whether he was wrong or right, it hasn't been, I don't know, probably a little wrong. But they named the terminal with his name on it, essentially, for something that he was very much against.
Is he still against the Alamo Dome?
Well,
Does he still talk about it?
I think if you were anti then, you could probably still justify the reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you were for it back then, you could probably find justifiable reasons for why it's still here and why we still use it.
He's probably like, I told you guys.
Well, I mean, there is some of that I told you so, that we still don't have an NFL team, nor do we have a baseball team, because we've invested, if you amortize the dollars from way back in the 90s in this dome, $1 billion over the years, over something that still hasn't brought what we were chasing, though we have benefited immensely from having it.
Right.
I mean, Final Fours and bowl games and playoffs and all the other things that go along with a massive facility like that, but it never really panned out for the initial reason we bought it.
Speaking of that, the last crossed T's and dotted I's apparently got taken care of with the Las Vegas Stadium Authority. So the Oakland A's which it's amazing that they were like, we're out, Oakland, see ya. But it wasn't even yet a guarantee that they were going to get this new stadium until now.
But, yeah, it wasn't guaranteed, but what else was going to happen?
They literally knocked down the Tropicana. It was coming. It was
going to happen, because both sides were committed at that point. The pig was already in the slaughterhouse. It was already about to be complete. So, no, it was a bold move, no doubt, because they did take the poker hand to the last flop with Oakland, and they had to leave. They didn't have any recourse. So, hence the next couple of years in Sacramento in a AAA stadium. But, yeah, they knew it was coming. But imagine if the Vegas type said, nope, not going to do it. We're not going to pay for it.
Yeah, it was coming. So they're going to get it done, even though the price of doing business between when they agreed to do it and today,
well,
it's already gone up $250 million. So it went from a $1.5 billion project to a $1.75 billion project due to inflation. It's been like a year. What are we talking about? Well, there you go.
I could say mob ties. The cement contracts went up there in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Jeff Passan just tweeted last night that the Oakland or the Sacramento A's. What are they going to be called? Are they
I guess
be
they're
the
going to call them
Oakland
the
A's?
Vegas A's, I would assume.
While they're in Sacramento?
You'd think. They got to get that brand going sometime.
Yeah. I mean, but what? I'm curious what they're going to be called next year.
I think, well, I'm trying to figure.
Can you be called the Las Vegas A's when you're playing in?
Well, the New Orleans Saints, when they were playing here, were still the New Orleans Saints.
Right. But they were based in New Orleans. The assumption was they were going to go back to New Orleans.
Well, the assumption is they're going to go to Vegas, so they're already the Vegas A's. You know what? I'm all about buying Sacramento A's gear for the next 2 years.
That would be a vintage. That'd be a thing, like a rare thing to own.
And you'd think baseball, they don't really like making money, so
no, they're against that.
They probably wouldn't want to do anything like that.
They're against it. But the A's, wherever they're representing, signed Luis Severino to a $67 million 3-year deal, which is the richest deal ever given out by the franchise. Think about that.
Juan Soto goes, how much? I mean, for
3 years, 67
for like $67 million. Is that for a year?
Is this for
like
6 weeks?
6 weeks? 8 weeks? I mean,
Juan Soto.
That poor guy. Should I send him flowers? Is he going to be okay?
Juan Soto is about to just have a wheelbarrow of money brought to his door.
My sister is not. I mean, she's a baseball fan, but she's a Red Sox fan, and keeps calling me. Have you heard anything? Man, you guys need to chill.
I would be so disappointed if he goes to the Red Sox.
So will the Yankees and Mets. That's why I just can't imagine it happening.
And the Dodgers and the Padres.
Yeah.
It's the same teams. Why do the same teams have all the money?
Cable deals.
Man, why can't the
All about who knows who?
Although, do we really want like Juan Soto to be playing in Minnesota or Milwaukee?
Yes, we do. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, we do. Especially Milwaukee, right, Edwin?
He just goes and vanishes into the ether, and no one hears from him again.
And they make the playoffs every year.
For Milwaukee to land Soto, how much is what beer is still brewed in Milwaukee?
Old style. No, that's Chicago.
I mean, they had Ryan Brown and Prince Fielder, but they were drafted.
Yeah, they were drafted there. So what would Milwaukee have to sell, like to go, like put on the market? Like, is Miller's? That's what. So it would be Miller beer.
Yeah, the whole
Miller,
kind of like
Pabst is brewed there, and Schlitz, I believe, is
like the way the Colorado, the way they could get Dion was they had to give him a percentage of the gate.
Yeah.
So for soda, they'd have to go like, okay, we'll give you a percentage of sales on Miller Lite.
We'll give you $1 on every beer sold.
That's the only way we could afford you.
The warehouse for Miller Brewing, like they would have to sell that.
Yeah, it would have to be the Soto Plaza. You get all the building, and we'll name a particular SKU, a line of beer, a Soto Suds. That's the only way a place like Milwaukee could even begin to fathom a $750 million contract.
That ain't happening. But I guess I don't want guys like that to go to these markets where they're just vanished for. I'll be quite honest. When A-Rod signed with originally signed with the Rangers,
everybody went, "Where's he?"
Like,
going to be playing in a farm yard.
What? That's a little weird. But, the Rangers are obviously still a major market. But
I'll put it to you. I don't think most people could have picked Mike Trout out of a lineup the first 8 years of his career. I mean, you just get marooned in a team that nobody's paying attention to. You don't even know what these guys look like.
But at least, you could go, well, it's L.A., and it is.
But it was Orange County. That's what it was. Not quite L.A., but yeah, if you're not in the right place, you get left. You get lost. The numbers talk about you, but there's no pictures of you.
No, you're right. Like playing for the Dodgers is different than playing for the Angels. Playing for the Yankees is different than the Mets. Playing for the Cubs is way different than playing for the White Sox. So
way different.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I don't like when big stars go to the. I'm such a hater because I like the idea of small market teams competing, but I don't want, like, when there's a huge free agent, I don't want Juan Soto to go sign with the Kansas City Royals and then we never hear from him again. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm sitting here. Well, one of you big teams sign him, and let the big boys fight.
So I can at least see him every other Sunday night on Baseball Night over in America.
Basically, I want Major League Baseball to turn into college football, where it's there's about 5 teams that matter.
We just rotate through them like a wrestling card,
and the rest of you guys are the Big 12, and you can fight over your own title.
And we'll see you on the biannual big Monday night brawls.
In fact, why don't we make there'll be a conference of baseball called the Big 12, and that's going to be the top-tier teams.
Well, okay.
The rest of you play in the bottom 18, and you guys play for a whole different trophy.
And who gets to use the golden slammer or whatever they're called in this thing?
The golden at bat?
The golden at bat.
That has to be.
The big salami.
It has to be the bottom teams.
The bottom rung gets the golden salami.
That's the only way people will be interested. Without the golden at bat, do you think people are tuning in to see Tampa versus Tampa versus the Rockies? No. They need the golden at bat.
Well, I will watch for just that.
Okay.
But
the problem is the golden at bat, they're going to bring up their best hitter, and he's going to be about like the 50th best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, but he's our best guy.
But, he's also against, he's also a tall little person. He's against other, it's all about proximity.
But when you grow up cheering for one of those teams, you don't know that your best guy isn't that good.
Well, no. You don't,
because
it's all relative.
To me, as a kid who grew up going to the Astrodome every we had season tickets as a kid. And
so were you Biggio? Was that
eventually? No,
eventually
Biggio
were you,
came.
Cruz and Cedeno? Or
yes.
Okay.
So not as much Cedeno, but Jose Cruz was like he was the big noise when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. He was the best player on the team. Bill Doran was very popular. I say the best player. I think Nolan Ryan was on that team, and Mike Scott. And those guys were probably the best players.
For me.
But as far as like everyday position players, Jose Cruz was the best Houston Astros player.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that meant, well, Jose Cruz is like one of the best players in the world. If you were like me and you thought if you grew up in that age of an Astros fan and you thought Jose Cruz was this great, great player, I implore you, do not go look at his stats. You will go, that guy was the best player? It's like he was like a league average player.
Yeah, but he was an Astro.
Jose Cruz.
Yeah. No, I think that's all relative, and I was trying to find an appropriate Spur, but there's not one. Our great Spurs were pretty much
great.
Yeah, there's not one that was just local good.
Yeah.
I think we fondly look back on guys. I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine like Mike Mitchell, and we go, wow, that guy was great. And you go, across the league, he just averaged forward.
He's
all right, but not.
When we were at one of the games that we've gone to, and I was looking up at the retired jerseys, and I said, as an outsider, I never would have thought that Sean Elliott would be the kind of guy who has a retired jersey. Sean Elliott, to me, seems like
good guy,
a pretty good player that played for a long time, but his number's hanging up there with some names that I wouldn't expect it to be with.
There was a Memorial Day effort. There was one particular shot that will go down in the annals of time as one of the greatest moments of my life.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
That's all it needed for that. That and being a great dude.
Yeah.
So that was enough.
Yeah. When I was an Astros, the big thing that they got, and I was so excited about the rookie. Ken Caminiti. Oh, this is my guy. And then he turns out to be a dope head and dies. Like,
huge forearms, though. Man.
Can't have any nice things.
Ken Caminiti.
What a guy. All right. Let's when we come back, let's talk about this Lions-Packers game from last night. We had a good one. We will talk to head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, coming up around 6:45-ish. And we've got a full weekend of football to preview. We've got to talk about the Spurs last night, which was a kick in the taint. They stunk last night.
Small ball, baby.
But we got all that to discuss and more. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right, good morning. It looks like we've got a new trouble spot downtown. An accident just now reported at 35. It's on the upper level, southbound just before you get to I-10. That crash in the left lane, it's causing about a 5-minute delay. Slow from Brooklyn Avenue. It's right at Florida Street. Now, that road work at 1604 westbound, Blanco to Bitters, they did pick that up. Still have the road work at 35 northbound, that off-ramp to Pat Booker Road, exit ramp blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto, You may know a couple of our commercials, but what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel all right.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-21. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Now we're talking. God, nothing gets me fired up. And you can say, "Oh, this is terrible." Yeah, but you're bobbing your head. Yeah, fun.
I made up my own
forward
dance.
to the week.
Do you have your own dance to this? I set up the video and I take off my shirt, shake my boobs.
I dance like the groundhog on Caddyshack or the gopher on Caddyshack. That's how white people dance.
I'm gonna make that viral. Bite my lip, show my teeth. And do the gopher dance.
Do the gopher dance from Caddyshack. When you dance like that, man, people are like, "Oh, that dude's white."
You dance to Yacht Rock. Isn't that Kenny Loggins?
White.
Loggins without Messina? Or was that Loggins with Messina? Because it's night and day.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big difference, man. It's a big difference.
We were talking about that Yacht Rock special. On,
I guess I
should
should watch
it on Max, man.
I'm not a big Yacht Rock guy.
You don't think you are? I didn't think I was.
I know I'm not.
I know you're not. But it turns out I really am.
Yeah.
It turns out that I had no idea I had such an appreciation for Steely Dan and Donald Fagen.
I hate Steely Dan.
See, I in my mind, I thought I did, and then last night I realized it's kind of like Taylor Swift. Like, hey, wait a minute. I like him. I like Steely Dan.
I do not.
The musicianship, the craftsmen that they were.
Yeah,
Yacht Rock, baby.
I am against Steely Dan.
Well, now that Buffett's dead, we need something to latch onto for guys of my age. So we're gonna hang on to the Yacht Rock craze.
Yeah, there's Steely Dan in what year was it? I'm just gonna take a guess here and go 2000 and see if that was the year. Steely Dan won Album of the Year.
Probably like 1977.
No, this was in the 2000s.
Oh,
Album of the here it was. Album of the Year. So this was the competition, and I was like, oh man, this is like there were some good albums this year. So one was Paul Simon, "You're the One," which I didn't care about Paul Simon in 2001. Kid A from Radiohead, which is a fantastic album. I'm not even like a hardcore Radiohead guy.
Yeah, this was kind of a transition period in music.
Midnight Vultures by Beck. I love Beck. I think Beck's like one of the great musical geniuses of our time, even though he's a Scientologist, and that weirds me out a little bit. Still very talented man. Oh. And the Marshall Mathers LP from Eminem.
That was when that was not his debut, but the second.
The second one. Yeah. And Two Against Nature by Steely Dan won Album of the Year, and I was like, this is impossible. This is rigged. I said, I don't know a single person who listens to Steely Dan. And
it's like the English Patient winning the Oscar. You're
like, it was
what?
Outrageous. And yeah.
Well, in hindsight, go back and listen because, again, the musicianship.
I don't think I'm going to enjoy it still. I will always hate Steely Dan.
The quote that
when I found out Steely Dan was a whole band and not just one guy named Dan, I was really pissed.
Dan Fogelberg. The takeaway from this was there was a music kind of historian talking. I forget her name who she's with, but she goes, I never thought music as math would ever work out, but it kind of did. And the mathematical equation that is yacht rock worked. Do this, do that, do this, and you'll get it.
I mean, it worked for some people.
Well, for about 8 guys in 5 different bands. And for a brief moment in time, I guarantee you, if you hit your record, your radio in a city you don't know, so you're scrolling, you're hitting from one to the other, and it lands on Yamo Be There. You're gonna stop. You're gonna bite your lip. You're gonna jam.
No.
And then if it pops over to like a Toto jam,
I really think.
Forgive me. I just said Toto jam.
I really think, like, if I were born maybe 2 or 3 years earlier, I'd agree with you. I think
it's just past you.
There was a dead area between our eras that you got, and I didn't get any of that.
I'm still a little young for the yacht rock dudes, but
yeah.
I'm right in there, though. The sweet spot's there.
I'm way too young for it to be like, this is my jam. And Edwin doesn't even know what yacht rock is, I'm sure. Are you familiar with yacht rock?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it.
But do you know what it, like, the general vibe of it is?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, see, that's it's a little before me.
Google Michael McDonald. The silver fox that he is.
Not the Seahawks head coach.
No, not him. Although, he's not nearly as talented as the great Michael McDonald.
That year, the best pop vocal album, 2001.
Pop vocals, okay.
The thing about pop at the time, like Music by Madonna.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Music
Madonna was
makes the people
she was winding down.
come together.
Her era was winding down.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when she did the Austin Powers
yes.
thing? Oh, she was hot in that video, too.
It was just about done.
And I remember thinking, ooh, Madonna's hot for an older lady in that video. And now Madonna, that's like 25 years ago. Madonna,
now she's draining the blood of Puerto Rican virgin men.
You know, when I say women should stop doing plastic surgery because it doesn't work. Like let yourself age a little. I don't mean you, Madonna. Get some, do something. Fix that.
No, I think that's a product of
Maybe
all
it
that.
is. Maybe
she
it is.
Truly horrifying.
It's horrific.
Truly horrifying.
Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears.
That's about right. That's the early Britney era.
And No Strings Attached by NSYNC.
Oh.
So like all these huge albums, best pop vocal album goes to Steely Dan. Liars! No one knows who that is. Steely Dan.
You'll go back and listen.
No, I hate
musicianship.
I can't. I can't. Destiny's Child was out there. Say my name. Say my name. Steely Dan won? Get out of here.
At that point, they were bigger than Beyonce.
Oh, how crazy is that?
That was a good day.
You know what else was out that year? The Thong Song. You're telling me Steely Dan's better than the Thong Song?
I think you just proved my point.
Maybe so. Maybe.
We just hit.
You know what? Now that
Steely Dan was like that safe harbor.
That was also the year that Nelly Country Grammar came out.
I have fond memories of that Nelly record.
I'm from the M.I. crooked letter O-U-R-I. No one could do it better. Oh man, he has some jams.
Not the best album though.
You like the Air Force One's album?
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of either.
I don't know then. What album are you thinking of?
I might have to.
Country Grammar was the one. That was the one with
That's the one.
Oh, I'm going down, baby. Yeah, that one. That was that's Country Grammar. That was the first album.
That's the one that when I think of Nelly.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Good old Nelly.
That's when the Atlanta sound was just getting busy.
Yeah. Good old Cornell Haynes, who I think like Nelly's still playing shows.
Yeah, he's still doing.
Like he'll randomly pop through and do a show.
Did he show up here at Smoke? I was someplace where he was playing at some barbecue joint. It might have been Dallas.
That would have been cool. He did. Let's see. Then so his second album was Nellyville, and that had Hot in Her and Dilemma, which is the one that had Kelly Rowland on it.
Hot in Her.
No matter what I do. And it had Air Force Ones on that one. And then he pretty much fell off after that.
Tried to act, right?
I think so. Yeah, it got. He had 2 albums and then it went downhill. But you know what, man? Well, then he was in The Longest Yard. Remember, he was in The Longest Yard.
I think I might have even interviewed him for that.
Nice. Well, I was going to tell you guys about the game last night, but instead we talked about Country Grammar by Nelly,
which we need to bump back with.
Or
her.
Or
down.
Or Oops, I Did It Again, as one of the many who were robbed by Steely Dan.
The musicianship.
The
poetry.
Did you know this little-known fact? Nelly was actually born in Austin, Texas.
I don't know where to do with that, but
I mean, he can rep Missouri all he wants, and he's an Air Force brat, but he was born in Texas.
You know, Travis Scott went to UTSA.
He's the Stevie Ray Vaughan of 2000s hip hop.
And we're going to bring this full circle. Christopher Cross,
San Antonio, right?
Went to Alamo Heights High School. A yacht rock genius.
What a guy! What a guy!
He flies like the wind.
When we come back, we will talk to head coach. We'll talk to another man who flies like the wind, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're live at Tri-County, the Hebner Road location.
For demo days, brisket, probably ribs, burn ends, all kinds of great eating.
And we'll get you ready for the weekend, big weekend of college football.
All those championship games, Cowboys. We'll talk with John Machota coming up at 5:15 today on the Blitz, live out at the Hebner Road location of Tri-County Meat Market.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right, good morning. It looks like we've got a new trouble spot downtown. An accident just now reported at 35. It's on the upper level, southbound just before you get to I-10. That crash in the left lane, it's causing about a 5-minute delay. Slow from Brooklyn Avenue. It's right at Florida Street. Now that road work at 1604 westbound, Blanco to Bitters, they did pick that up. Still have the road work at 35 northbound, that off-ramp to Pat Booker Road, exit ramp blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This report is sponsored by Don't Mess with Texas and the Texas Department of Transportation. As you travel on Texas highways this holiday season, remember that Don't Mess with Texas means don't litter. So stay off Santa's naughty list and deck the halls, not our roadways. Don't mess with Texas. A message brought to you by TxDOT.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Listen to this message I received.
First message.
This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Kinetico water softener, but getting all those Kinetico units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Kinetico wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Thanks again for installing our Kinetico. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months, and $400 when you trade in your old water softener.
By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Lunatics. The Lunatics. Remember the Lunatics? Like St. Lunatics?
I need some reference? I don't know.
That's what Nelly called his crew.
Oh, I thought we were talking Christmas. I was like,
no,
what? Okay.
No.
All right.
We're talking Nelly still.
Yeah, that one. Yes, the Lunatics.
Yeah. I don't know where this came from. No, he always had the Band-Aid. Oh. And I've never understood that Band-Aid, other than I guess that was like what he thought looked cool. I mean, like,
don't know how to shave.
Crisscross used to wear their clothes backwards, so it's like not the Band-Aid's not crazy.
That'll make you jump.
Well, I think it's wiggity, 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 whack. Border Jumper says AJ thinks Roseanne Barr is hot. I don't know why you would say that. What have I ever done to make you think that I would find Roseanne Barr attractive?
There are plenty that do.
Sure.
I'm sure.
But it ain't me. Don't put that on me.
She's got a real pretty mouth.
So funny. Like I often.
Where did that come from? At what point?
I don't get it.
Is that just like a hand grenade? Like I'm just gonna.
I don't know where. Yeah, just out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. All right, let's go. Let's go to the Buyers Barricade guest line.
Right then.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Coach McCarthy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Well, it sounds like you got some pep in your step, a couple back-to-back wins, a little rest. How you feeling, Coach? How are you feeling about the team right now?
My sleep score is definitely elevated, but that's a good thing. But no, we're getting healthy as a football team. We're having a good week. The mini bye week has served us well. But we're all about Cincinnati. We got a big challenge coming here Monday night.
Before we get in the nuts and bolts, the broadcast on Monday night's going to kind of be a dual broadcast. Did you ever dream you'd be on The Simpsons, Coach? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. But no.
Oh, they're doing
enlighten me.
They're doing a simulcast on ESPN Plus where the game is going to be all in Simpsons characters.
Wow.
Yeah. So Homer Simpson will be coaching the Cowboys on television, but I guess maybe he'll be working directly with you. But yeah, you're going to be Simpsonized this weekend or on Monday.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Listen, we all have our career highs, and congratulations. I know that Super Bowl was cool and all, but you're going to be on The Simpsons.
Yeah,
now,
we're proud to have been able to tell you.
Coach. Let's get out the Zack Martin thing. This is obviously disappointing when you say we're getting a little healthy. This is one that isn't going your way. But Zack Martin, talk about what he means to the team in that locker room, because it seems like even as people have talked about his play maybe slipping a little bit, he still seems like he's maybe the most respected guy in that locker room. What's it mean to not have him for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, without a doubt. And I think you've kind of hit on it already. I mean, Zack means so much to us, as a football team and really as an organization. He represents the Dallas Cowboys so well on and off the field. His playing career and the Pro Bowls, the consistency of how he plays and is really a clear illustration of really how he lives his life. Just very, very consistent, very well respected. Great teammate. But yes, that was some tough news, and the irony of it all. Also coming on the day that he's nominated for one of the greatest awards. The Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee also. So I just think that speaks volumes about who Zack is.
And as just kind of part of this season, the next man up is going to have to step in. Here come the Bengals. With an offense, Coach, that is kind of finding its ground, going against a defense that's given up some yards. Rico Dowdle, have you been just waiting on this? Has it just been a matter of time for Dowdle to be able to do what he did last week?
I think it's more just a work in progress. It's obviously starts up front with the run blocking unit, and and then the backs, the discipline and the decision making and the coursework and so forth, and and obviously we had some out of balance games, way too many out of balance games early in the year. But I think it's just a product of just the guys continue to work, and we've always loved Rico's run style, and he's only going to get stronger as the game goes on. So it's been great to get him those touches.
When you game plan for the Cincinnati Bengals this year, it feels like game planning your offense against their defense probably is a lot more fun than game planning your defense against their offense. What do you see that you guys can do to slow down this Bengals attack? that hadn't led them to a bunch of wins, but there's a bunch of points being scored and a bunch of yards being put up. How do you slow them down?
Well, it's like anything. It starts up front, and you got to get the run game, under control, and try to limit their passing game to strictly a drop back, and that's really one of the best things they do too. So, been very, very impressed with their passing game, just the connection between Joe and the perimeter guys. And it's going to be a big challenge for us. So, but this thing will start up front for sure.
The combination of still being mathematically available to the playoffs, playing a team that's a snake bit but very good, certainly helps Linda. I would sure add a little bit more of a sense of urgency given where you guys stand. As you guys move forward into this week, what's been the biggest difference in watching Cooper from first week of starting till now? What's different with him?
Oh, I think just clearly getting all the reps. I think, especially at the quarterback position, you just look at the mathematics of it all. When you're the backup, you only get, you get very limited reps. And now that he's been taking every walkthrough rep, he's the lead voice in the room, in the group meetings, and obviously getting all the team reps. So he's just so much more comfortable right now.
How's his rhythm different from Dak's? Is there something that you had to adjust to as play callers and offense from him from what Dak was?
No, absolutely. Every quarterback has a different rhythm, or every quarterback has things that they, feel better about than others, and that's an important part of the play callers and the quarterback's relationship to spend that time in the meetings, talk through things, make sure there's clarity on, the call expectation. We have a PCP, we call it play caller's purpose, tag that's put on every single play, so we're clearly on the same page of, why it's called and when it's being called exactly, what the emphasis may be. So yeah, that definitely is something that you have to work with on every quarterback.
Coach, early in the season, as you guys were struggling to find explosiveness on offense, you guys seem to have maybe run into some with Kevontae Turp in the last few weeks. How much of a concerted effort is it to keep your home run hitter out there and try and at least have the threat of that massive play?
Well, I look at Turp as a receiver. We've been rolling him in there all year. He's just been getting some opportunities that have come his way. He's been getting the one-on-ones. We've been able to get him the ball and some design plays. But as we know, he's so dynamic. I'm just so proud of the young man because, when he came here, he was, clearly just a kick returner. But I mean, he's worked his tail off, and Turp knows this offense inside and out. So he's able to play, the X, the Z, and the F, and so we just continue to move him around.
Talking about guys that are playing into their potential on the defensive side of the ball, DeMarvin Overshown has really been grabbing headlines. Talk about his growth and what's his best use? What's his highest and best use on the defensive side?
Well, number one, availability and just getting his play time up. So just having him out there, full time has been great. And just, and changing up his opportunities too. We've done some more, with him schematically.
Like
him
what?
Some opportunity. Put him on the edge and, and things like that. Giving him some, pressure packages, and he's definitely producing.
Coach, there's been a lot of discussion about your future, obviously, as the season's gone on, and it suddenly feels like there's a big, almost a surge of people who are saying Mike McCarthy should be back next year with the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones saying it's not a crazy idea to think that you could be back. Dak's talking about you being back. I mean, how do you feel personally about the job you've done this year, and how do you feel about the idea of continuing to coach the Cowboys for the long term? Like, I guess the question is, are you happy with your situation here in Dallas, and do you expect to be around long term?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, when we were discussing this way back in the spring, I've addressed those things, and and now we get to this point in the season, and I appreciate all the kind words. That's for sure, and it's definitely better than the alternative. But I think clearly my focus is on beating the Bengals, and that's where it needs to be. We all have situations that we're in, as far as our contracts and so forth, and I've done this for a long time. I'm very confident in the job that I am doing, but I'm very, very proud of the coaching staff and the job that they've done. So it's important for all of us just to stay where our feet are and stay focused on this, and that time of evaluation will come at the end.
You know, I'm one of these people, but I've heard it from several people that as rough as this season has gone for the Cowboys, it's really hard to put the blame on Mike McCarthy. And as the head coach, do you – I mean, I'm sure you take more weight than anyone is going to try to put on you, but how much of that do you own? How much of this season do you feel like is yours to eat versus, you know, circumstance and everything else going on in the world? You're probably taking more ownership of this than I'm trying to give you, but is that an accurate statement for me to say that, you know, the Cowboys' bad season or disappointing season isn't necessarily Mike McCarthy's fault?
Well, the first thing, the season's not over, and you know, I think that's, you know, part of the problem, and not problem. I think it's just part of the way the world is in sports today. I mean, we're making evaluations, you know, 1/3, you know, halfway through, you know, through the season. So there's still a lot of football left to be played. I think that's important. But I think the reality of it is I am the head coach. I am the lead individual, and I do own it. This is my football team that I'm coaching. I'm in charge of the training, you know, every schedule, the decisions of, you know, how we're going to play, and you know, have the ability to you know, put my signature on it. So yeah, you have to own it. I mean, that's the responsibility of being a head coach in the National Football League.
Mike McCarthy joining us, courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds, as always on a Friday morning. Look back at on Monday night. When you look at Joe Burrow, what's the first thing you think about, and what are you trying to take away initially with him?
You know, I'll just say from the quarterback position, I really appreciate the way he plays. I think he's super talented. He has total command of the position, and you know, but his anticipation, accuracy, I think is top notch. So you know, with that, I think the biggest thing is you got to try to take away the first receiver and try to get him to play off the spot, which he also does a nice job of, you know, sliding into the pocket and stepping up and coming out. And does a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield in the scramble. So it's just, you know, you got to just try to continue to try to break his rhythm.
When you look at a defense that has, I mean, the Bengals defense, there's no other way to put it, has been pretty bad this season, but they have a guy. This Trey Hendrickson is a dude. When you've got a game plan for, you know, a defense that people might not think much of, but they have a guy who can just wreck an entire game, how much of your focus goes to that one guy and what you can do to really solve that problem?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to recognize it. It's all over the tape. I mean, just definitely having the extra time this week. He's dread. I mean, he has a great motor, but you know, he's a technician. He does a great job, you know, in a really fast time clock too, and he doesn't waste any steps, so he can get on you in a hurry. But yeah, definitely. I mean, he's going to get a lot of attention from us. But this defense is very high volume and scheme, and you know, they've definitely, you know, put us to work this week and all the different variations of defensive personnel and you know, the schematic, you know, volume that they have on tape.
When you look at a defense like that is high volume and scheme, you know, the timing of movement that your offense requires, how much time do you have to dedicate to that?
Dedicate to?
I mean, just getting your personnel ready to go as quickly as they move their personnel. I've seen a couple of issues with some reffing calls over the last couple of weekends with that substitution pattern getting weird.
I'm sorry, Rod.
I'm just saying, you talk about their high volume. You mean they play a lot of different schemes, and as you prepare with a bunch of guys that are next man up that aren't really used to playing in that kind of offense, how much time do you have to dedicate to make sure your personnel is just ready to be on the field?
Well, we're gonna dedicate all the time that we have. We'll be ready, but I mean, we'll be ready to go. It's we've been fortunate. We have an extra practice day this week. You know, the guys were, you know, there's a lot of guys that were here over the weekend, so. We'll be ready to go. I'm confident.
Let's talk about the bodies. CeeDee Lamb, who missed the second half last week against the Giants on Thanksgiving. What's his status like? Do you expect him to be a full go? And how's Brandon Cooks? How's he doing after getting on the field for a little bit?
Yeah, CeeDee's he was limited yesterday, so you know, I'm hopeful with the extra time that he'll be ready to go by Monday. But he's definitely making progress towards that. And Brandon was in the same category yesterday, so we're just being smart with the volume of reps. But today is a a normal in-season Thursday practice for us. So this will be our highest volume of work today. So I'm hopeful those guys can take everything that they need game plan wise.
Well, the mini bye couldn't have come at a better time, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. A little win streak. They're saying there's a chance. Good luck this weekend, and we always bid you, as always, a good health.
All right. Thank you, man. Take care.
Thank you. That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And as always, all guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. All right. We'll hit reset on the show. We'll get into the game last night. We'll start looking ahead to the NFL week to come. Talk about Bill Belichick, college football coach.
Make your grades.
Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Talk.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have that trouble spot on 1604 eastbound Lock Hill Selma. That's a stall. Right lane. Stop and go from I-10 Vance Jackson. So it's causing about a 5-minute delay. 1604 eastbound Shanefield. That's a stall off to the shoulder. 35 southbound Fisher Road. Disabled vehicle right shoulder blocked. And on the west side, we've got a broken down vehicle on Highway 90 westbound at Callahan. Again, off of main lane, off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Pennzoil Platinum can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win. And they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs fall to the Chicago Bulls last night, 139-124. No Wemby. Yes, there was a problem. Keldon Johnson came to play, paced him with 28, but it wasn't enough. They get a chance to come back tonight, a back-to-backer with the Sacramento Kings in the building, tip at 7 o'clock. Dallas Cowboys All-Pro guard Zack Martin's calling it a year. Will it be a career, as he is going to end the season and undergo ankle surgery? I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Huddle. Thanks to Mike McCarthy for joining us there. Courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds, of course.
He was chipper.
He was. Until you started speaking Chinese to him.
Well, I asked him a very inartful question, so that was all on me. I didn't want to go. You asked such a good question. He was so honest about his answer. I was kind of taken aback. I didn't want to go further down that road. I didn't want to poke the lion. So I just wanted to bring up something that I think is going to be a problem again this week. And he brought it up first, that one of the things that Cincinnati does well, though they don't execute it very well, is the way they use their personnel. You got a lot of switch, and down and distance matters to their defense, and guys come and go. And we've seen probably 3 or 4 times a game with the Cowboys over the last month because of all these injuries. Wrong dudes on the field. We can't get defensive guys on or off on time. Some pre-snap issues. I didn't ask the question very well because he brought up their often changing defensive scheme and how quickly are you going to be ready to attack what they're doing. And they haven't been, quite frankly.
My biggest takeaway from that is I don't know how I could be preparing my team this week and not be aware that I was going to be on the Simpsons broadcast.
See, that's just, I don't know if that's a
criminal.
testament to head down, just go to work, or it's willful ignorance.
Dude, this is such a moment for you to relate to your team and say, you know what, boys? We got a chance to do something this week that not a lot of people are going to get a chance to do.
I guarantee you he got off our interview and got on with his secretary. Like, what's this about the Simpsons? Can I get first refusal on what my avatar looks like or my character?
Well, I think when I told him that Homer Simpson is coaching the Cowboys, he was like, son of a...
Oh, my God.
In his mind, he went, don't!
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't know how he was unaware of that. That's all I would be thinking about. I wouldn't even care about my game plan this week. I'd be like, you know what, man? We won 2 games in a row. Well, we're going to be on the freaking Simpsons.
When we asked him about being on a cartoon, and he said, enlighten me, he was looking for a fight. He didn't know where we were going with that. He was like, no, enlighten me.
Yeah.
What are you calling me, a cartoon?
What are you trying to say there, Rob?
You calling me an animated character?
Yeah. You calling me a clown?
Am I a clown to you?
Do I make you laugh?
Am I here to entertain you?
Ha ha! Do I make you laugh?
You know, I'm about to be unemployed. I'll put this clipboard down and whoop your ass.
Whoop your ass.
Bart Simpson.
I don't know if he is going to be unemployed, and good for him. The Detroit Lions continue.
Good for them. Do you get the sense that everybody's kind of rooting for him like they're Rudy? Like, they've never won one.
No, I was rooting against them last night actively.
Come on. Green Bay's won so many of them. Detroit.
I was like,
they have weird pizza.
And then I flipped my mind and I was like, you know what? I want Detroit to win so they will be overhyped going to play the Buffalo game, and then Buffalo's going to pants them next weekend.
How much do you appreciate going 4th down 4 or 5 times? I mean, get away from the in the moment. Was this an overall, in the grand scheme, will this lead to good things or bad things?
So when I was really learning to play poker, one of the guys who taught me the most about poker would tell me decisions, not outcomes. You can't focus on the outcomes because over the course of a million hands,
it's a very stoic response. You can only play the hand in front of you. I got you.
Decisions are more important than short-term results. Right. They go 4 out of 5 on 4th down last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if going for it on 5 4th downs per game in the long haul is a wise thing.
But in the moment, each one was the right call.
And when it works, it's like, hey, look at us. We're great at this. Brandon Staley fell into that a little bit when he was with the Chargers. And the first year, he was going for it almost. He was like, it'd be like 4th and 4. Let's go.
And the numbers tell us. Well, the reason I mean, obviously, it worked out. They won the game. Every call was appropriate.
I could not believe. I couldn't believe. I thought to myself when it was, first of all, when they got to 2nd and inches, I said, oh, that was a 1st down. They took a look at it. Nope, wasn't a 1st down. Okay. 3rd down, they get stopped. Now it's 4th and inches. I said, well, they're just going to take the points because now all they've got to do.
Which was the right thing to do.
It's what I would have done.
That's in the manual. You take the points and your defense.
You've got a minute.
You're going to have to
They don't have any timeouts. Just hold them, and really, you can almost just play prevent at that point and make sure that they don't get a touchdown. And if they get a field goal, you go to overtime anyway.
Right. So what I'm getting at is that was really fun and that was really cool. You're at home. You own Green Bay like Green Bay owns Chicago. You own these fools.
But is that the way to play? I don't know.
What's that old saying? If you continue to listen to the crowd, eventually you're going to be sitting with them. You know, I think he was a victim of the moment. If you live by that kind of sword, eventually you're going to die by it. And that's one of those things that, young coaches have to find that interim thing. It was all right last night, and I'm not degrading or angry with any one of the individual calls, but the sum total of that tells me you have to be a little risk averse at times. And they didn't have to be last night because one win and they're already, they clinched playoffs last night. So you can be a little risky.
But you're still playing for a lot.
Yes, that was That was daring, man. That last one, that was you're tempting fate. Now, I'm glad you did it. But the thing is, you probably would have won the game either way. And knowing that, yeah, go for it. But personally, I don't have the sack to have done what he did. I would not have gone for it. I'd have kicked the field goal and blamed my DC if we lost.
That's where I'm at. But and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Dan Campbell, like he believes like being this kind of guy is what's gotten him where he is. So he's like, I've got to do it.
I get it.
What would Dan Campbell do? Dan Campbell goes for it here.
It's like live fast and leave a good-looking corpse. But dude, you're asking for it when you live like that. You're really asking to get kicked in the teeth.
And quite frankly, the Lions outplayed the Packers last night. The game, from a statistic standpoint, wasn't as close as the final score was. They like yards per play, things like that. The Lions were the better team last night, but their defense was vulnerable, obviously, because that's not their defense. That's not. And I bet the under last night, and I was pissed off at myself for thinking that this Lions defense could kind of hold things down, and I should have known that once the Packers started scoring, the Lions were going to cut loose on offense, and then I was going to be dead in the water, which I was. But yeah,
let's not discount how good Green Bay is.
They're good.
They
are.
They're kind of Cincinnati snake bit. They played 99% of the teams.
Listen, they're 9-4. They're going to be okay.
But what I'm saying, they'd have beaten 99% of the NFL last night. Love played a hell of a football game. He did. There were a couple of little mistakes, but they didn't lose because of their quarterback. That offense, despite starting slow,
I think I saw
second half adjustments look really, really good.
I think I saw the first time in Packers history that they've had a running back score 3 touchdowns in a game and lost.
I know. I mean, that was such a well-played Green Bay game that we're going to go away from it looking at the loss. And on the other side of that, there is nobody in the NFL that wants to play them. I wouldn't want to play Green Bay here, there, anywhere.
Well, Green Bay has one of the. I think Green Bay has a really good coach in Matt LaFleur, and I think when you have a guy like that, you're going to be dangerous no matter what.
They just don't have
he's always going to be prepared. He's always going to throw some wrinkles at you.
They just don't have the manpower that Detroit, even a banged up Detroit. That offense,
that's what it seems like.
There's a weapon at every position.
Yeah. And if they play them again in the playoffs, they probably won't be as banged up defensively, and then it becomes even more of an issue. So and Detroit's just really good, man.
And one last thing, again, we had the debate about where Goff is in the pantheon of of the NFL quarterbacks today, but no quarterback is in a situation that's more perfect for them than Goff is right now.
Yeah,
I mean you talk about knowing your offense. He's as dialed. That second half was as brilliant a performance offensively and he's had a couple of them, but he was as sharp as any quarterback was all weekend.
Bruce said that call was correct because they knew they couldn't stop him from marching down the field. But this is the thing. If you take 3 there and you know you can't stop them from marching down the field and likely kicking a game-tying field goal, that's one thing. But if you go for it there and don't get it, you can't stop them from marching down the field, and then they need a field goal to win the game. So that's why it's –
and his heart stopped when he saw Goff fall out of the snap.
Oh, my God.
Can you – I mean,
I can't believe that's a first down.
That would have been a fumble pick 6 going the other direction if that was any other team. And sometimes fortune favors the bold. And sometimes that was because of that they got the ball and scored.
It would have been replayed over and over and over and over. It would have
been Pisarcik.
On Cooper Rush's lowlight reel for the rest of his life would be that. He'd be remembered for that play. Like remember when Sage Rosenfels got spun around the Rosencopter?
Oh, yeah, the Rosencopter.
Yeah. If that was Cooper Rush, he would have fallen down, the ball would have rolled, somebody would have picked it up and scored, and they would have called that the face fumble.
Well, go Google Joe Pisarcik and the great Herm Edwards. Pisarcik fumbled the ball. Herm Edwards ran it in for a touchdown to win the game back in the late 70s.
Yeah.
So it was a daring big balls call, but man, Detroit, live by that sword. That eventually it's going to come back and haunt you. The discretion, there are times when discretion is the better part of value. He got lucky. Not lucky. It was the right call, but it's going to get good to him, and eventually that's what's going to bite him.
So many people are talking about the Lions winning the Super Bowl.
It's hard to argue, man. They feel like a team of destiny. They feel like a team – they feel like the Cubs did a couple years back. They just feel like, you know what, they're not the best, but damn it, God wants them to win, man.
I don't believe in Jared Goff. I just don't.
I don't know why. I mean, what better exhibition would you need other than what we saw in the second half last night? He was damn near perfect. I mean, was there a bad ball thrown? I mean there were some drops, but
he literally fell down on a handoff.
But that wasn't his fault. The guy stepped on his foot, and he still delivered. I mean, in most teams, that would have been the end. But Detroit just feels like a team of destiny.
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And I'm just not. I mean, I obviously they're very good. I just feel like the upside, the ceiling is higher for a team like Philly than it is for Detroit. And maybe that's because it's easy to say that right now while Philly's defense is playing at an elite level, and Detroit's defense is a mash unit. But no, I just something tells me that there's going to be a game in the playoffs where Goff has to play a shootout,
has to make a play,
and he doesn't get the job done. But also, there's no elite quarterbacks in the NFC, as we talked about yesterday, or very few elite quarterbacks, or even in the conversation for elite quarterbacks in the NFC. So maybe he doesn't.
If you can't be elite, be part of the system.
Yep. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick?
I'm a Tar Heel, and I believe Baby Blue.
I'm really looking forward to working with.
I don't want to go there.
Looking forward to working with school-age children. Children bring me joy. As you
find
can tell.
my cutoff hoodie. Let's go to work.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Hey, I don't know where you're headed today for a happy hour on a Friday. I can tell you where you should go. That's Twin Peaks. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. And whatever you're looking for, they've got everything from tequila cocktails to a bourbon category, the likes of which you don't normally see in a bar like this. They understand what fine alcohol is and where it should be kept, like up there on that top shelf, and they know how to serve it to you over those beautiful icy balls. And if you have not had a great bourbon on an icy ball, are you really living? They've got the local crafts, your shaken, handcrafted whiskey cocktails, and those adventurous drink menus that only occur to you on those perfect happy hour afternoons on a Friday. Don't forget to go by and get yourself a 29-degree draft beer while you're there. And if you can't wait for happy hour, the lunch combos are going to be served up hot and ready all afternoon. Step up your lunch game today at Twin Peaks with the light and hearty combos put together for you starting at just $7.99. They feature those great soups, crisp salads, and a variety of sandwiches to satisfy your every craving. Boy, a warm bowl of soup sounds pretty good today, doesn't it? Pair that with an icy cold 29-degree cold beer, and you're kicking off the weekend the right way. Hey, there's 4 locations waiting on you. I'll start on the west side there at 151 and 410. Right there at Days of All and I-10, that's my home field. You'll find me on the right-hand side corner booth. And if you head over to the Park North location, I'll be on the left-hand side. Or you can head over to IKEA, and I'll be wandering around the mall, coming in and finding you. That's Twin Peaks. The eats are spectacular. The drinks are icy cold. But where do you go? It's easy. It's those scenic views.
Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare and you want out, you need to get the facts. Wesley Financial Group and its founder, Chuck McDowell, have helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshares permanently, and he may be able to help you too. Call right now. Chuck will send you a timeshare exit information guide free explaining how your timeshare works and all your options for cancellation. You want to call Wesley Financial Group, 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Once again, 800-761-0000.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GARAGE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GARAGE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GARAGE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Getting arrested can feel like a sucker punch to the face. Don't accept mediocrity while staying down for the count. Get up and fight for your reputation and your future. At Barton & Associates, we have a stable of hard-hitting and aggressive lawyers ready to get your life back on track. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates. We are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
A lot of people giving Jared Goff flowers.
I am. Will you take this, Rose?
Well, Jesus says y'all don't give Philly enough credit. I just literally said I think Philly's better than Detroit. I think Philly's the best team in the NFC.
No, you're wrong.
How much credit do I got to give them? Philly. I don't know them anything. I'm giving them their credit.
You know how you settle the Philly-Detroit is you just have their coaches fight, like the old war stuff. We'll send our best versus your best.
I don't know. That's going to be much of a battle.
This is Campbell and Sirianni.
The Sirianni better have a rock and a sling.
He's got that slingshot.
Just better hope that he lands the perfect shot.
I think Philly to go. Who's saying that?
Jesus says I'm not giving him enough credit.
See, Jesus, you need to listen thoroughly. You need to listen from beginning to end before you speak. AJ's been a firm defender of Philly, and rightfully so. I just don't feel like they're a team of destiny. Every now and then, I saw it in Cincinnati a couple of years ago. That there are teams where you go, I don't know what's going on, but they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're just going to win games. I don't know how they're going to win them. They might not always be the best team on the field, but their guys play better than the other guys most every week.
Joseph says Goff has been to a Super Bowl, and this is what I was saying yesterday. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl with maybe at least one of the best offensive coaching minds in the world. And after that Super Bowl was over, Sean McVay said, I can't win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And he put a first-round pick, he hung it around Jared Goff's neck, a first-round pick, and said, somebody take this guy and give me a quarterback who I can win a Super Bowl with. He got Matt Stafford, and he won.
Yeah, but they said the same thing about Stafford in Detroit. Like, we are sick of his stuff. It was just a matter of finding the right pieces in the puzzle.
Sean McVay wasn't coaching in Detroit. Sean McVay knows who can win. That dude knows offense.
Well,
Detroit is.
I'm not going to say that he was washed up. It was just time for both those guys to go. Goff is a more than serviceable.
Goff, you know what? Goff is very serviceable.
And so, but he's not anything other than a perfect function of the offense that he's in. And right now, there's no quarterback in a better situation than Jared Goff. He knows the offense. It was built for him. They went and got guys that not only mesh into the offense, but they mesh into the way that he wants to play the offense. They got him extra running backs. They got him a big mobile tight end. It'll be hard to screw it up, but the good news is he hasn't. He's doing exactly what they asked him to do. And in this world, if you don't got Pat Mahomes, that's all you can ask for.
I guess so. The NFC is fascinating to me because I think there's several teams that are solid. I don't know that anybody's great.
Did you drop Green Bay out of the upper echelon from last night, or are they exactly where they were?
I mean, I didn't have them in the upper echelon. I think Philly, Detroit is the upper echelon. Yeah. I think Minnesota's a tad behind them.
So do you put them behind?
I put Green Bay in that next tier, which is
behind Minnesota.
Yeah, okay. And then I do think there's a gap between them and whoever's going to win the NFC West and whoever's going to win the NFC South. But I mean,
I you know what? Last night's performance, despite the loss, the LaFleur alteration of the offense, the way they changed from the first and the second half, the way they started moving the ball, and the way Jordan Love plays, he doesn't get enough credit. He's really, really good, and there's room to improve. And if he improves to the skill set that he's got everything required to be a star, not just a function in an offense. He can drop some dimes. I wouldn't want to play Green Bay coming through with that wild card roadie that they're going to end up taking. I don't know what the futures look like, but it's going to be a tough one for whoever hosts them. I mean, that's a good team. I think they might be better than Minnesota.
I don't know. He's just so careless with the ball at times.
But now some of those throws, man, there's 5 people in the world can do it.
And he's now had 3 consecutive games without an interception after having an interception in at least one interception in each of the first 8 games of the season. 3 games in a row without one. Maybe he's kind of figuring something out.
Well, I mean, they still lost, so I'm not going to give them all the flowers in the world. But it was a well-executed second half of football from Green Bay that I think I'll say it again, if they weren't playing Detroit, Philadelphia, Kansas City, maybe, Baltimore, they beat everybody else with that performance. There's nobody that could have kept up with them.
Let's preview what else is going on in the NFL coming up this week. Next, it is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're looking for the gift for your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, you always try to be unique. You want to do something special for those that you love. I'll tell you what, Tri-County Meat Market has curated a couple of gift boxes that I really recommend for those that you're really trying to set apart. Maybe it's your favorite client. Maybe it's your mailman that's always making sure you're getting everything you need in the mailbox on time, on target. Maybe you got somebody that works around the house or somebody that's done something special for you. There's no better gift than the gift of fine meats, and there's a variety of boxes that Tri-County has put together for you, whether it's a dry sausage a box that has all the stuff that you can store for a minute. Maybe you're looking for a box of those special steaks that you can put in the freezer and hang on to for a couple of months and just break out on those special occasions. Well, you don't need to worry about the curation. You let Tri-County's fantastic meat cutters take care of that. Bunch of different boxes and styles and different prices. I recommend going and letting them recommend what's perfect for you. You've got ribeyes and New York strips and things that they've put together that really match perfectly. It is a wonderful gift, and if you're giving gifts in volume, go talk to them about putting together a bunch of boxes for you. It is a perfect and wonderful gift. That's Tri-County Meat Market. Then you got the specials that are always in play, and I'll tell you again, the 5 for $30 deal, if you haven't done it, I've been saying this for years, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table and find meat in the store. Head over to Tri-County and find out what that 5 for $30 really is. And while you're there, grab a perfect bottle of seasonings, whether it's Gulf Coast or maybe it's one of the in-house brands. If you're looking for something unique, that's what Tri-County has. 2 locations waiting on you. I'm going to be out with Jason Minix today over at the Huebner Road location. We're going to be broadcasting all afternoon. There's going to be grilling in the parking lot. This is your chance to stop by and say howdy and leave with some good meat on the table. A great meal starts with great meat over at Tri-County. Head over and get some fine meat today and come by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely starting to fill in. 1604 eastbound Lock Hill Selma. That's a stall right lane. That has you slow from I-10 Vance Jackson. 1604 eastbound Shanefield. That's a stall. It's off to the shoulder. 35 northbound Weidner. Minor wreck. Shoulder blocked. On 35 southbound Fisher Road, southwest side of town. That's a stall off to the shoulder. And another disabled vehicle, Highway 90 westbound Callahan, west side of town. Again, off a main lane, off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay. PayPal.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Prize Picks. I got a question for you. Do you want to win 100 times your money? Well, Prize Picks can do it with as little as 4 correct picks. Let me tell you, if you're a fantasy player, you know the game. Put it to its use. Do you know James Cook's going to go off this week? How about Joe Burrow? Hey, let's talk about Pat Mahomes. Not quite the year, but you know how to play him. Is it more or is it less? You know the play. Just make your pick, and you can turn it to big money easy. And if you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, and they often do, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Remember, download the app today and use the code Alamo. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Pat Mahomes had a good day, but it was less, and I took it home. If you know it, go play it. PrizePicks. Run your game.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho, 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 ho.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're live at Tri-County, the Huebner Road location.
For demo days, brisket, probably ribs, burn ends, all kinds of great eating.
And we'll get you ready for the weekend, big weekend of college football.
All those championship games, Cowboys. We'll talk with John Machota coming up at 5:15 today on The Blitz, live out at the Huebner Road location of Tri-County Meat Market.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Morning Huddle. Football Friday, conference championships all weekend long. Programming note. We're going to be busy around here. If you're out and about and you need to make sure you're caught up, we got all the games. Title game starts tonight. The AAC championship game. Army and Tulane. We got that one going at about 6 o'clock. Right after I get off the air with Minix, we'll be out at Tri-County all afternoon. Tomorrow, we got the Big 12 title game, Arizona State, Iowa State. That'll be over on our brother, sister, I don't know, ESPN 1250. That'll get going at 10. And then right here on this baby, we'll have Texas taking on Georgia. We'll get you warmed up at 2:30. And then tomorrow night on the sister station on our AM dial as you travel about, we'll have SMU and Clemson fighting for preeminence. That will kick off. We'll be going at 6:30. So if there's a game to be played, you can catch it right here. We'll make sure you're covered from wall to wall for all your championships. And, yes, Texas fan, you'll get them right here Saturday. But they were not going to let Bevo into the Georgia Dome. But
doesn't seem right.
Well, I wouldn't want that cow pooping all over my floor either.
They're going to let that dog in?
Hook 'em. I'm proud of that. Hook 'em.
I'd probably not. I think it would be fair, right? They don't let one or the other. But I have a feeling that given the locale, the UGA will be running around on
Doesn't seem right to me. Remember last time they played, Bevo tried to kill UGA, which was problematic.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when Texas was back right then. That's when it brought him back.
That was the day.
And tried to kill UGA. They've come full circle.
That was the day. I remember that.
Texas is back, folks.
That's right. I don't know if they've got to win a national title to be back.
No, they're back.
It feels like they're back.
Texas is back.
Like, I have a hard time picturing Texas going to be like an 8-4 program anytime soon. Like, I think they're in for another good run here, where it's going to be.
No, this is a 5-year minimum run. There would have to be some sort of colossal mistake.
Arch Manning's head would have to fall off,
or transfer, or Sark gets a job offer and leaves. If all things remain equal, this is going to be a good run. You can sense it. You can feel it. When Kirby won his one at Georgia, you go, well, here it goes, and it has gone. And this should go, though we felt like Clemson might be about to hit their stride, and they stumbled. So that you can screw this up.
Joe says, AJ, I hope everything came out all right. It did.
That's a savvy listener there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you come back from break, and I'm not here.
Sometimes you're not paying attention.
You got to, yeah, well.
You just hear a voice.
Sometimes, if it's after 8 o'clock, sometimes I might have some salesperson blabbing me. But if it's before 8 o'clock, you pretty much know that the caffeine has hit. And I when I was in Austin yesterday, I had some barbecue. Fantastic barbecue.
Le barbecue?
No. Ever since they won that Michelin thing, their lines are crazy. I went to Styles Switch Barbecue.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. You were heading there.
And they serve real good jalapenos with their meat, and they also have a side, like a blistered Brussels sprouts with the red jalapeno rings. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I normally avoid that.
I should. And if my wife were with me, she would have said, don't eat those red jalapenos. Mm-hmm. And I would have said, you know what, babe, you're right. But my wife wasn't there to be my conscience. And I said, you know what, these red jalapenos are delicious. And I ate every last one of them. And that mixed with coffee it struck.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, so I'm feeling better. So thank you, Joe. Thank you for your concern. All right. We have a big slate in the NFL this weekend. I guess we might as well jump into it and go over what we think might happen this weekend. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to wait till Monday. But, oh, my gosh, the game of the year, the Simpsons game. Oh, it's going to be so good. But the Falcons are at the Vikings. The Vikings are about 5.5, 6-point favorites, depending on where you look. I think the Falcons suck.
I think Kirk Cousins has run a little cold lately.
I really think we'll get to it later, but I think the Falcons being as poor as they are might be a sign for another team. But I don't think the Falcons are good. I don't like laying a big number with the Vikings. But I think the Vikings get the job done here. I think they win the football game. I think it's going to be an ugly, low-scoring game. But I think that the Kirk Cousins revenge game or whatever, I don't know if it's revenge game. The Vikings gave Kirk Cousins a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, I don't think he's upset with it.
They parted on fine terms, it seems. But, yeah, I think the Vikings win. I don't know about the cover, but I think the Vikings get through this weekend.
If the Minnesota is as good as you think they are, they better not just cover. They better whoop Atlanta. Atlanta is terrible.
Yeah.
What happened? 4 interceptions. I think Kirk Cousins might be colorblind. 2 of the interceptions he threw last week were directly to the other dude. Like, it was to them. So it's a team that's collapsing, and I think they're ready to start Penix. I think they're just waiting, give us a chance. Just give us an opportunity so we can find a way to get out of this contract albatross that we're going to deal with for the next couple of years. Let's find out now. If they have trouble with Atlanta, if you're a Minnesota fan, I think you got bigger problems. They better take care of business.
Every game that Minnesota plays seems to be a close game.
I agree, but I don't think they can.
And losses.
I don't think they can survive the way that Detroit does this year and the Texans did last year. You live dangerously like this, and when you got a quarterback that's apt to give you one more mistake, I don't think they better take care of business, or my stock on the Vikings is going to decrease. This is one where you got to own it.
They've played 3 games this year where the final score was double digits. They beat the Giants 28-6. They beat the Texans 34-7,
which is their best win of the year, I think.
And they lost to the Rams in LA 30-20. But every other game is like, it comes down to it. Even against bad teams, they beat the Bears by 3. They beat the Jags by 5. They beat the Jets by 6. They lost to the Lions by 2. Like, they just play a lot of close games.
That Lions loss, that was at home too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I'm not comfortable laying a big number with them.
They're head and shoulders better than Atlanta. I'm telling you, it's one of those where you kind of have to lay the wood onto somebody to just kind of know that we're capable of doing that. And this is a team that's ready to have the wood laid.
I'd like to see it. It'd give me a lot more confidence in Minnesota. I just don't think that they're the kind of team who blows teams out. Saints are at the Giants. I don't know.
Is Cutlet's going to play?
No. They've announced it, which they didn't do last week. Last week, Drew Lock found out the day before the game he was going to start. And it's like, okay, well, good luck. Drew Lock's taking first-team reps all week. He knows he's the starter. I don't know if the Saints should be 4.5-point road favorites against, like, a junior high team.
Well,
but these are the New York Giants.
Keep in mind who the Giants just lost to.
You're right. And the concern is, and the Giants didn't look like they were tanking against the Cowboys, but also remember that was Cooper Rush. And so Saints are now without Taysom Hill, who's been their best offensive weapon all year. I don't know what to think of this game. You know what I do know about this game? I don't want to watch it with my eyeballs. I don't want to see this game.
I think all the Giant coaches have scheduled their scouting trips for the next quarterbacks. I don't know who they're planning on looking at this week. The Giants have nothing to gain at all by a win.
No.
I mean, literally nothing.
Neither do the Saints.
Well, I think there's a I think there's something to play for the Saints. A couple coaches trying to keep or get a gig.
Yeah.
I just feel like New York is playing out the string. You're going to have to prove to me why there's a reason for them to score anything.
Jags are in Tennessee for a division game, 3.5, depending on where you look. The Titans favored.
What's the under?
39.5 or 40.
Mm-hmm. Man, right where I'd have been, too. Yeah.
Mac Jones versus Will Levis. Gross.
Let me tell you.
No thanks.
My man will be the best quarterback on that field on Sunday.
He might be.
Yeah, not might.
He'll also be the most likely to turn the ball over.
I'm just going to say that at least one time this year that my man, the Mayonnaise King, it will be the master of the wastelands.
Well, your other hero, Baker Mayfield, will also be the best quarterback on the field as the Bucs are 7-point home favorites against Aiden O'Connell and the Vegas Raiders. 7 feels like a lot of points for the Bucs.
Baker is manufacturing points. And isn't Evans healthy now? Isn't he back?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that helps.
But 7 points. Like, the Bucs are about as mid as it gets. And now we're saying, hey, go beat somebody by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, this is still the NFL, man.
But they're in Tampa.
Yeah.
I know you got your power rankings and all that, but it just feels like more than a 7-pointer on this one.
Yeah, I don't think of the Bucs as a team that's going to should be blowing out anybody.
I watched them close out a game last week. They're trying. There's a lot of want to in Tampa. They're missing some pieces, and they have a run game that's solid for about 3.5 yards, and a defense that'll hit you if they can find you. But there's no reason for them to be winning a bunch of football games, and Baker's willing them through it. That was a force of will kind of football game, and I don't see that in the Raiders.
I will say this is what's wild about that, because I don't think much of the Bucs. I mean, the Bucs have gone 3-5 in their last 8. Their 3 wins are against the Saints, Giants, and Panthers.
They beat who they're supposed to.
Yes.
But they've also gone without 2 of those games without a single starting wide receiver.
You're
so
right.
They have been banged up.
But the fascinating thing is, if you rewind, the Tampa Bay Bucs have wins over the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles this year. That's wild.
When they're fully functioning, they were, adequate. As long as Baker doesn't have TV on him, we're going to be good.
But they've also been swept by the Falcons this year, and they barely beat Carolina. I don't know. I don't trust them. I think the Bucs are very solidly below average.
They are the bell in the bell curve.
But you talk about a team, the Raiders. If you're talking about teams that should have nothing to play for, I guess other than I don't think Antonio Pierce is keeping his job either way, but I'm sure he still believes he's got a chance to do that. So, Browns are at the Steelers. The Browns catching 7 on the road. I like the Browns to cover this game.
Well, it depends on if God is going to grant Jameis Winston his prayer.
Lord, baby Jesus in the sky, please stop. Take away this pick 6 demon that's upon me.
Some people pray not to take another drink or another hit or a little bump, and
pick
he's
6
praying,
demon.
The pick 6 demon's just hanging on me.
It's hanging. I think I mean he probably does throw a pick 6, but I think the Browns can hang within a touchdown of the Steelers. They should anyway. I mean,
is this a rat poison game for the Steelers?
These are the game. I mean, historically, when does Tomlin do well? When people don't believe in him.
And now we're believing in him.
Now we're saying you're a 7-point favorite. You're a dominant team.
It feels like a rat poison.
I mean, the Steelers feel like about as high on the market's about as high as they could be on the Steelers.
Really?
I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns won this game.
And considering the offense that the Cleveland's shown us the last couple of weeks, it wouldn't shock me a bit. This does. But of all the teams not to have to suffer through any of the rat poison things, you'd figure it'd be a Tomlin team. But this does feel like that they can, offensively, they're just not going to be able to keep up with a Cleveland team that's starting to believe that they can move the ball.
Maybe the worst game of the week is the Panthers at the Eagles. I am not sure the Panthers will score a point in this game.
But the Panthers have been trending up. If they've ever been even in a position to offer a threat of maybe an upset, it's now. This is it. They're playing as good a football in Carolina as they have in 2 years.
It's been a while.
Now,
yeah.
I mean, it ain't good football. It's just better than that's what's been there. It ain't It ain't going to happen, but I am saying there's a chance.
Okay.
I mean, their scores. Look what they did to Kansas City.
I know.
So there might be something there.
The way that Eagles defense is playing, though, right now, I don't know where do their points come from?
Well, when at the end of the year, when we do figure out who's better, Philly or Detroit, I do think the separator will be whose defense is playing the best, and right now Philly's is.
The Aaron Rodgers-led New York Jets take their show on the road to Miami. Dolphins 5.5-point favorites.
By the numbers, Tua is the best quarterback in the league.
Is he?
Completion percentage. You can find a couple of
well, that's about
points.
right. Tua's he's Goff 2.0. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Listen, I'd have a good completion rate if I never threw it beyond 5 yards. I'd be good, too. I mean, just saying. I can complete a lot of 5-yard passes.
I'm trying to find some reason to hang any kind of confidence on Miami.
The confidence that I have in Miami here is that they're playing the Jets.
A-Chain's fast.
Yeah, everybody on their team is fast.
Tyreek Hill's fast.
Yeah, with Jalen Waddle, fast.
So I'll take fast team.
I think I would, too. This is the Jets. You talk about completely falling apart. Now they're at the point in the season where they can't. Even Aaron Rodgers saying, "Well, if we go on like a 11-game win streak, we're still in this thing." No, now everything's dead. It's over, Johnny. Now that team's going to roll over and die. They're talking about benching Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Well, I mean.
Well, what happens
I hope the Dolphins win by 2 million points this weekend. I hate the Dolphins.
Well, this is worst-case scenario for a Jet defense that is undermanned. But now you're playing for film, and when you're playing for film, you're willing to make a big mistake. The Miami capitalizes on big mistakes, man. There's going to be some chunk plays against the Jets.
Yep. We'll finish looking at the NFL on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
What makes the golden rule work is understanding that it's not really a rule, but a character trait. The doing unto others as you would have them do unto you becomes something you don't always have to think about because it becomes a defining point of your nature. Learning to embody the golden rule is about becoming a person characterized by love, patience, self-control, gentleness, and faithfulness. And you're making progress when you practice the golden rule even with people who don't always have your best interests at heart. This is one of the things that made Jesus stand out through the centuries. The golden rule really defined Jesus' character as seen in how he related even to his enemies, to those who misunderstood him, and even to those who were embarrassed to be in his presence. The ability to do good even when people do not reciprocate still is a game changer in our world today. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org or visit us on Sunday mornings at 10:30. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. savings. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at gmtvcc.com.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
There's one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. Stevens Roofing. A quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort, confidence, and peace of mind. It's protection for all the things you love. And during this holiday season, Stevens Roofing would like to thank all the first responders and military service members for the protection and peace of mind they provide. So for all your roofing needs, commercial or residential, remember Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net. Happy holidays from Stevens Roofing.
Byers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Byers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at byersbarricades.com. That's byersbarricades.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we're dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they don't just represent you, they fight for you. When life throws its toughest challenges, George and his team are there to get you the justice you deserve. And here's their promise: you don't pay unless they win your case. With a proven track record of success, they take every case personally. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and heads up on the northeast side of town. We've got a stall at 35 southbound approaching Weidner. It's taking up a right lane. A little bit of stop and go from Evans. 410 westbound Nacogdoches, that stall is blocking the median. A stall at 35 southbound Fisher Road off to the shoulder. And another 90 westbound Callahan, that stall also off to the shoulder. Pretty much most all our major freeway systems are filling in and slowing down for your morning rush hour. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs fall to the Chicago Bulls last night, 139-124. No Wemby. Yes, there was a problem. Keldon Johnson came to play, paced him with 28, but it wasn't enough. They get a chance to come back tonight, a back-to-backer with the Sacramento Kings in the building, tip at 7 o'clock. Dallas Cowboys All-Pro guard Zack Martin's calling it a year. Will it be a career, as he is going to end the season and undergo ankle surgery? I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got to make something clear here.
Why do you feel the need to separate yourself? I mean, you've been lobbed into a group of fine people.
D-Wayne, listen, I love anybody who listens to our show. Love all you guys. Appreciate all you guys. I don't know what impression I've given you. D-Wayne says, good morning to my favorite Aggies. Another fact for you, 74% of all Big 12 wins came against P4 competition, which leads all FBS by far. Wreck 'em Texas Tech, and guns up. Cactus emoji. First of all, we're not all Aggies here. I give off no Aggie vibes. I know I did I was doing the fake yell leader thing. I'm not really a yell leader.
I think you're yell leader material.
I mean, listen, if there's something to get elected to, I would get elected. All right. But I am not an Aggie. That said, I know we all heard Hunter Yormark talk about how ripped off the Big 12 is. When you say Power 4 competition, like I said yesterday, there is no such thing as a Power 4. There's a Power 2. So Texas Tech, all these Big 12 teams, they all beat a bunch of other G7 teams. To me, it's the P2 and G7 now. Power 2, group of 7. You're in the mix with the Sun Belt, Big 12. ACC, you're in the mix with Conference USA. There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
you seem to act like it is.
No, I'm not.
You're lesser.
I love that there's an auto bid for 3 of those teams. 3 teams besides the Big Ten and SEC are guaranteed a bid into the college football playoff. I think that's valuable. But let's stop pretending that they're a Power 4. There's no Power 4. That's a basketball conference. Basketball and wrestling. That's what you guys need to hang your hats on. Start doing that. You'll be a lot happier.
Wrestling?
Yeah, that's wrestling country. Iowa State.
Not Lubbock.
Oh, no. But the Big 12 in general, I'm saying.
Well, north of the Red River.
Iowa State, Oklahoma State. That's like 2 of the most storied.
Does A&M or Texas, I guess they're fielding. Do they have wrestling teams? I don't know.
I don't know that they do either. I'm guessing they don't. Because with Title IX and all that stuff, I know Texas has like every woman's sport you can have.
So then
I'm sure the Aggies do too, and that means there's less of the man sports. Let me see
places where it snows.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's a really good Big 12 wrestling teams. Oh my!
So there is a scholarship worthy.
The Big 12 wrestling teams are, there's teams in the Big 12 wrestling that aren't who you would think of as Big 12 teams. So it's not just, the same old school. Like Fresno State wrestles in the Big 12. Air Force. So it's Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and West Virginia are the only real Big 12 teams that participate in Big 12 wrestling.
To create a conference just for wrestling, schools like Fresno State,
Wyoming, Northern Iowa, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Northern Colorado, Utah Valley, Air Force, and Fresno.
So if they win, do they get a Big 12 trophy?
Big 12 championship.
Like there could be a Big 12 title at Utah Valley State?
There could be, technically. But as long as Oklahoma State, and Iowa State exist, Fresno ain't winning any. Utah Valley ain't winning any.
Does SEC have wrestling?
That's a good. Now you've got me down a rabbit hole, Rob.
I'm just curious if there's potential here.
Let's see. SEC wrestling. I was partially expecting it to bring up like, Southeast wrestling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like pro wrestling.
The Junkyard Dog and the Freebirds?
Yeah. I don't see.
Okay.
I don't see any SEC.
I didn't think so. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I got a. No, I don't think there is SEC wrestling. So, but I'm not. But don't tie me in on that. I'm not 100% sure. All right.
We digress.
We were going through the football schedule. And where do we finish off? Miami and the Jets, if I'm not mistaken. A fascinating matchup. Seahawks are at the Cardinals. Cardinals -3 against the Seahawks.
I don't know anything about either one of these teams. We're 3/4 of the way through this year, and I have no idea what to expect from either one of these teams on any given week.
I'll say under 45 is my play here, and here's why.
It could be 90. Either one of these teams could hang 45 this weekend.
If I told you, if I said, when you think about Seattle and Arizona, do you think those are offensive-minded or defensive-minded?
No, that's
teams?
the problem. They've become defensive-minded teams with offensive-minded quarterbacks, and you never know what you're going to get. One week, we have a literal perfect week from Kyler Murray. It's like 25 of 25 and 350 yards. The next week, it's 10 of 17 kind of outing. I don't know what to expect from Kyler or Geno. I don't trust either one of them as far as money goes. And I do think the winner of this game probably has some contention for playoffs, don't they? One of these is going to roll on forward.
If Seattle wins this game, and the Rams play the Bills, so they've got a chance to keep pace. But if the Seahawks win this game, they're currently 1 game up on Arizona and the Rams. Seattle wins, they got a 2-game lead in division. That might be insurmountable in this division.
Hell of a game.
Everybody in this division, 7-5, 6-6, 6-6, 5-7. That's why the 49ers aren't out of it by any means, because their division is still winnable. But there's obviously hills to climb. But both of these teams are really, really good on defense, and it's kind of under the radar because we think of these as offensive teams. Seattle bringing in Mike McDonald, not Yacht Rocker Michael McDonald, but Mike McDonald from the Ravens. They have really taken on his identity. They've started to figure it out. And then Arizona, I think they're just good on defense. I would have never guessed that would be the case, but they're pretty damn good on defense. And I think they're 4th in the NFC in points allowed. The last 4 games, they've given up 23, 16, 6, and 9.
Some of that's a product of the teams they're playing, but yeah, they're playing better defense, and I think that's the biggest surprise of what happened in the West.
Well, when these two teams played 2 weeks ago, the score was 16-6, and now we're looking at a total of 50. Why?
Because we have no idea what to expect. Literally, I have no idea which offense is going to show because both of them are capable.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it. I think this is a grimy division game. Bills at the Rams. Bills laying 3.5 on the road. This feels like a spot where I could see the Bills taking a breath.
No.
You don't think so?
This is the easiest game they're going to play for a minute.
I know.
You know what I mean? They're on the road.
That's usually when you kind of go, okay, let's exhale. We got Detroit next week.
I think right now they're executing so well, they don't have to do anything other than execute right now. And it's hard to say it for Buffalo fan, but you've got a really good football team. And it's not just Josh Allen. Josh doesn't have to be perfect to whoop the Rams. And that's the way I look at this game. Roll in some good weather, have some fun, feel good about yourself, and go into the biggest game of the year next week.
The way I look at it is you just played the Chiefs and the 49ers, both of them in primetime featured games. Next week, you play the Lions in what's going to be a massive game. You got to take a breath sometime.
I think you
got to come up from air.
You're right, but I think that they're playing a team that they match up with really well. I think it's going to be pretty easy for them to score. I don't think it's going to be a hard win. I think that this is going to be one of those games where you're having fun, the Rams aren't, and that manufactures 10 points just there.
Yeah. And I normally I would say, well, they won their division, so they can afford to take a breath. But they're still chasing that 1 seed, and they need to win everything and hope that somebody trips up the Chiefs. And the Chiefs have a good chance of tripping up this week. So maybe you're right. I'm not betting on them.
You got a little battered Bill syndrome.
Maybe I do. Bears are at the 49ers. The Niners laying 4 at home against Chicago. Man. It's hard to back the 49ers right now.
Did the Raiders win their first game last year?
Like the first game after they fired their coach?
What's his name?
Yes.
Got the gig. This could happen again this year.
That's the dead cat coach bounce?
Yes.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, and just the energy of the dude out of the building matters. This might be it.
And Caleb Williams playing better. Like, since they've started firing guys, Caleb Williams is less garbage. I think I like the Bears catching points on the road against the 49ers team that, dude, you don't even, first of all, you don't know who's going to be out there.
Yeah, what's the point?
I think Kyle Shanahan's had enough of this season.
We're folding up the tent.
He is ready for this thing to just be over. Chargers at the Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. The Chiefs are 4-point favorites at home. Total is 43, and you know my philosophy, Rob. If the Chiefs are laying more than a field goal, I bet against them. 4 is more than a field goal. I'm betting against them, even though the Chargers' offense last week was so ass. And if it wasn't for Kirk Cousins just throwing the ball away, I don't know if the Chargers would have ever scored a point. So I do have concerns about them, but it feels like this Charger team is built, like oddly enough, they're built for bad weather and like built to play in the cold. So be like a run game, defensive minded thing. They're not going to be like, in a bad spot here. The Chiefs have been playing with fire every damn week.
Feels like an unveiling.
I
Feels
think so
like
too,
this
man.
is a Mr. Harbaugh, welcome to the world kind of night. I like everything about because they're built to beat the Chiefs. They're built to hold onto the ball like grim death. We're not going to let Patrick get more than 25 snaps if we could possibly do it. And I think they're ready for it. A moment that's been circled all season. Harbaugh gets introduced to the world,
and I think Harbaugh will. I mean, Harbaugh is literally like if Harbaugh. I don't know if Harbaugh has a daughter. If he does, he is certainly trying to pawn her off on Justin Herbert. He is in love with Justin Herbert, and I think the reason why is he trusts him not to give the ball away. One interception all year, and it's not by mistake. Like he's not making he's not making bad throw. He's not taking a lot of big risks, so his stats aren't what they have been. But he is playing mistake-free football, and that's what Harbaugh asks. That's why J.J. McCarthy was so good last year. It's not because J.J. McCarthy's like he ain't no Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. He just took care of the football.
Just don't let him do what he can't.
And that's what Harbaugh loves about Herbert. I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers can win this weekend.
I do too.
So, in fact, I certainly hope that they can win this weekend. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk college football at 8:30, but we do need to talk about the San Antonio Spurs. We'll do that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Oh, I got to tell you guys about Carbach. It's my turn, right, Edwin? Okay, yeah. Go get a beer, Rob. Go grab one. Bring me one. Bring me back a Hopadillo, the finest IPA brewed in the great state of Texas. And Hopadillo all over San Antonio, as is the Love Street, their Kolsch, the blonde. It's a really light, easy drinking beer. And then Crawford Bock you can find pretty much everywhere, too. Crawford Bock's my favorite of their daily drinkers. It's just a really kind of a do-it-all beer. It's not too light, not too heavy. Perfect for any occasion. And like I said, all over San Antonio. You go to H-E-B, you go to your liquor stores, they're going to have Carbach, of course. But even in restaurants, bars, where you think, oh, maybe they don't have that. Maybe that fancy beer, they ain't got it. They do have Carbach. Carbach's made a concerted effort to say we want our beer in San Antonio. We want San Antonio to have our beer. So don't let them down, San Antonio. Go out there, grab yourself a Carbach. Next time you're at a bar or a restaurant, you'll be thanking me later.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
If Renee would give me that Flight by Yingling inflatable, it'd be out there in the front yard.
No, it wouldn't.
Sure it would be.
Maggie would not allow that.
What's better than a flight for Christmas? Nothing. I don't want one of those spinners. It's got to spin.
What are we talking about now?
Well, the beer can.
Oh.
Those spinners.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The big holiday beauty sale at Ulta Beauty is happening now. Get the best gifts up to 50% off, including can't-miss deals on Urban Decay palettes, luxurious YSL and Armani fragrances, and the fabulous Shark Dryer and Styler. But that's not all. New deals drop every week. So whether you're treating yourself or finding the perfect gifts for your crew, head to an Ulta Beauty store today. Get all the best gifts, all at Ulta Beauty.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel all right.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right, I got some stuff to give away. Let's do Justin Furstenfeld.
You know, chicks in New York are big on this thing. There's around the country, these evidently are in great demand.
Justin Furstenfeld?
Furstenfeld.
Huh. Well, hey, come see him. Of Blue October fame, you'll see him Blue October in December. You'll see him December 13th live at the Aztec Theater. That is 1 week from tonight. So what are you doing next Friday? One of you is going to see Justin Furstenfeld at the Aztec. Somebody's also going to go see Wanda Sykes March 21st at the Majestic Theater. And who's our last one? Who's our last
stand-up? We got some other comedy.
Oh, Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr, a funny British man. You can see him as well. The Laughs Funny Tour, Jimmy Carr, September 19th, 2025 at the Aztec Theater. Now, all of those shows, Jimmy Carr, Wanda Sykes, Justin Furstenfeld. If you don't win tickets, you can go to livenation.com and grab yourself some. So I suggest you do that. But let's do this. Let's do what we did the other day. Caller 1, 2, 3, first, second, third choice on those tickets. So jump on there, guys. I say you all know the number. It's 210-656-3776, 210-656-ESPN. Okay. Los Spurs, Rob. We thought no Wemby, no problem. Well, this was kind of embarrassing. The Bulls aren't supposed to beat your ass.
But to their credit, they're playing better. They're on a little run themselves. But no, they're not supposed to beat your ass.
They're not supposed to do what they did. And that was ugly. That was
never ahead. You were behind the entire game.
That was a lopsided game. I don't know that you can take a lot of positives away from it. Like normally you can find
Keldon's activity wasn't good to see. Devin continues to play well off the bench. Chris Paul looked about 45 against Desanyu.
Somebody tell Chris Paul he's not a three-point shooter.
Well, he hit a big one the other night and it got good to him.
My goodness.
This was the kind of game that you always are afraid of, and there are a couple of problems. One, I think the Spurs miscalculated. I think they decided to go small, and it probably wasn't a good idea.
I mean, we literally said there's two guys you can't let beat you, and Vucevic was one of the guys we said, and then they were like, you know what, we're going to let Vucevic beat us.
Just to go bananas. But he was in a zone. That ball didn't touch the net till the third quarter. I mean, he was lighting it up, and they let him get hot, and Levine was hitting threes, so it opened it up, and then
I mean, he got every shot Vucevic had was like at the basket.
Yeah, well, the pick and roll defense was atrocious. I mean, there were a lot of problems last night. Offensively, the ball moved a little bit better than I thought it would. Sohan, my biggest worry last night was what that offense would look like without Wemby and Sohan in, who's just not a threat. But we saw everything that gets Sohan on the court, he did. I mean, we had rebound. He had 14 rebounds, had a nice double-double, picked up a lot of trash. But the problem with Jeremy is he's just such the lack of a threat that if he's not at the rim, whoever's defending him goes and finds the ball. And when that opens up the door to some rebounds, it does. Jeremy goes and gets when he's available. But offensively, we just ground down to a halt last night, and it took Keldon to his activity to kind of keep us in there. But going small put us behind the 8 ball, and there was no fix for it. Collins couldn't help. Mamu ain't even sniffing the court anymore. There was a try with Bassey, and then finally we just punted. And put Sohan on him and hope for the best.
And if you're gonna play small, you assume that means you're defending the perimeter better. No, the Bulls they shot 46% from 3.
Yeah, they were running passes. That point guard play, they were just so much quicker off the dribble than we were. We couldn't get back on defense. They were turning the corner on pick and rolls. The pick and pop was open with Nurkic, so you couldn't dive toward the basket. There was no shot blocking that they're used to having, the protection. Everything collapsed last night. Everything. There was nothing good about last night at all other than Keldon's activity off the bench.
Ayo Dosunmu continues to be one of the guys who was like, he and Brandon Clark falls into this category for Memphis, guys that I loved in college who are not NBA superstars, but they're guys that I want on my team. And Dosunmu, he had
triple-double.
He had a superstar kind of game last night, which he hasn't had a lot of them, but you see what the potential. He's like a super athlete, just what you would call a bucket. A guy who he ain't a great shooter, but he goes out and he gets to the basket. He'll get by you and he'll get his.
He's turning the corner all night. And the rookie, Buzelis, the kid that came out of Sunrise and Spurs looked at, they worked him out. Seems to be finding his depth the last couple games, 10, 12 points. He's a threat, man. There's some game there. He's a child. There's a long way before it's all there, but I think he made a difference there in the third quarter. He went and got rebound. He got some big rebound. Went and got some buckets when it mattered. So I think we discounted Chicago a little bit, but this was all on the Spurs. They just they got 10 points down and they couldn't cut it. And they never let Chicago out of reach. To their credit, they were in it till the very end, but it was one of those miscalculations to start. They didn't have the Joes to match their Jimmies. And point guard play quickness was a problem, and they just never could get out.
I also think at some point it's an identity thing, and you don't really know who you are without your true north, which is Wemby. Like when you build a team around one dude, and then he's not there, you're going to look lost at times, and they looked lost at times.
It's awfully nice to know when you get beat off the dribble that Wemby's coming to help.
Well, and what I always say is like, the Spurs offense, in my mind, should be just throw the ball to Wemby standing close to the basket and let him turn around and lay it off the glass. I know they don't like doing that, but it's really nice when that's an option, like a bailout option.
And there was none last night.
And there's no bailout option when he's there because you don't have like a great three-point shooter to like kick it out to and hope he hits one.
Speaking of, I'd like to thank Julian Champagny. I do believe hit his first mid-range jumper of the year last night. I do believe the first time that he took a jump shot inside the three-point line and made it. I do believe it was last night. I saw a shot chart of his. It was, you want to talk about nothing but layups and threes. I'm not kidding.
Master of that,
I think it might have been his second 12-foot jump shot of the year. I'm not. You think I'm joking?
And he made it.
Yeah, he made it. It was nice. Maybe we do that again.
He's got it figured out.
Maybe
the game is solved, Rob.
That worked for DeMar, and we'll copy that. We'll see a little bit more of that tonight.
Analytics say no thanks.
Threes are better than twos.
Analytics say no thanks.
This is a big game. I want to see how they bounce back tonight.
Well, first of all, do we think Wemby plays tonight? They said it was a back yesterday. I thought it was maybe a load management thing.
Sit him down.
They've lost 3 out of 4 now.
Yeah. Obviously, his back is something that scares the fool out of me.
Yeah.
If you were telling me it was a thigh contusion, play through it. If you were telling me his something was sore or, play through it. Backs, that's a long-ass back. I want to make sure that it's fine. So you can take the night off, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, maybe that's the move. You did get a nice win over the Kings, last week. And be nice. And the Kings, let's face it, that's a team you're going to be competing with for play-in, playoff type spots. So it's an important game, and that they won that game because Wemby was just incredible. That was the triple-double game.
It was the best win of the year just 4 days ago.
And part of the other reason why they had some success was he was able to at least slow down Sabonis.
Sabonis was in foul trouble all night.
Yeah.
Keep in mind they've beaten Sack twice now. If you want to get off the schneid, yes, bring Wemby back because I do think he is the difference. He plays. I do think they'll play a little bit better defense. But what was exposed last night, it's still going to be a problem. If Trey Jones' shoulder isn't better, the quickness on the point guard play was a problem last night. And De'Aaron Fox is no slower than Disu. So,
no.
They're going to be dealing with the same issues.
If Wemby's out tonight on your daily fantasy, let's look higher on Domantas Sabonis.
All of it. Higher on rebounds, higher on points.
He'll have a day.
On the totals, all of it.
Because the only reason he didn't completely blow out that game is because he was in foul trouble trying to slow down Wemby. If he didn't have foul trouble, he seems to not worry about these Spurs matchups.
I feel bad when I start thinking about playoffs.
Why?
But it's the
feel
cart before the horse.
Okay,
We're not a playoff
you're getting ahead
team.
of yourself.
But I feel like I got to pretend like it.
I don't know. You seem to vacillate. Like you've gone back and forth.
They're a 500 basketball team. I'm not going to vary from that. But as far as when you think about, okay, say the Spurs did make the playoffs and they had to play somebody 3-5 times or 4, whatever it took. And you look at where the bench is, and I go, where's the first thing that the Spurs, if they do start thinking, you know what, this could be a playoff run, let's get ourselves ready. What's the first thing that we should go shopping for? What's the first thing to go out and kind of augment what we've got?
It's so simple. It's just a pure shooter.
Well, see, that's what you would think. But for me, I go, for the long term, we gotta get more guys, not just one shooter. We need 2 or 3. That we can rotate through that are always going to be a threat on the court. But right now, if the Spurs have any pretend of making the playoffs and even winning a series, and I'm putting the cart way before the horse now, our post defense without Wemby is so bad.
That's true.
It's just so absolutely atrocious that between Collins and Bassey and Mamu when he finds it, and now Sohan who's doing some makeshift post work, he started at the 5 last night. There's no way that the Spurs can beat any team in the West with the backup centers that they have on this roster. It is an impossibility. I mean, it took the Mavericks had to go find a Lively. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had to go find a dude to go do that. Spurs don't got that dude. They got one. They got the best at it right now in Wemby. But the other thing that they're going to need in the short term, if they think they got a chance, in the long term, definitely, first thing to address is the post defense and play there. It's just that's lacking. It's just nobody on the bench.
And Rob, remember, that's why I was tooting the horn for drafting Donovan Clingan and trying to get Clingan and Castle. And I feel like then you solve multiple problems.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be young. It doesn't have to be old.
It needs to be serviceable.
About 12 minutes of let's get some help, and Clingan would have been ideal. Let's grow old with that guy. But when I look at what I saw last night, you go, what's the one thing that we really needed last night was some backup defensive help. Watching Vucevic just victimize us from 15 feet in and everything in between. We had no kind of answer at all.
You're right. And for a team that doesn't really – it feels like everybody on the team is kind of a 3.
Yes, and that's good and bad.
Which means there's when you are kind of positionless like they are, it means you don't have like true power forwards either. So you certainly don't have a power forward who can pretend to be a big.
There's not a power forward on the Spurs. There's not one.
So if you don't have a back. First of all, your big man doesn't play like a big man generally. Mm-hmm. Defensively he does, but he's not a regular big man.
Well, yeah, his defense. He doesn't play big man defense. He doesn't.
He just blocks shots.
Yeah,
But you don't have a rim protector as a backup, and you don't even have a person who's big enough to like pretend to be a rim protector. You're right. That's probably maybe even more than a shooter, because
it was so
you know what you can do when you don't have shooters? You can shoot less.
Well,
you know what you can do when you don't have anybody to protect the paint? What happened last night? That's what you do. Terrible. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the conference championship games and college football coming up this weekend. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
Ewald Kubota has got locations all around Central and South Texas, have been around for 75 years, and that's where you go when you need the equipment to get the job done. Those orange tractors are in the best of the ranches and businesses around South Texas, because when you turn the key on your Kubota, it's going to start. And now is the time, more than any other, to head over to any one of the 11 local Ewald locations to pick up exactly what you're chasing, because the end-of-year packages are on sale. There's no better time. So when you think of that, I want you to think zeros. 0% APR, 0 down, in years to pay, 48 months. You can step into a couple of packages that are going to fit your ranching needs, your leasing needs. If you need a small tractor, need a medium-sized tractor, maybe it's one of those LTVs that you need to get around the property, or you're looking for the perfect stopping stuffer for the land that you've got. Maybe you're starting a big job and need to go rent something that'll get things done. Ewald will be there for you now and in the future. And while you're there at Ewald, don't forget to get a couple of the stocking stuffers. Those toy tractors look awfully good under the tree. Nothing better than seeing the kids playing outside with something as beautiful as an Ewald Kubota tractor. And while you're there, I want you to remember to take advantage of something that is near and dear to Ewald's heart. They have taken part in a raffle. They're giving away one of their very best tractors, $20 tickets, but it is taking care of a group that has been taking care of San Antonio and South Texas for a long time. It is the One Hope Foundation for Kids. It's an adoption agency that Ewald has taken under their wing, and they want to help. All the donations, 100% goes directly to them. You want to go play $20 raffle tickets? Check out all the details. Go to ewaldkubota.com. I'll say it again. Whether you're a rancher or a weekender, there is a package for you to save some money and go get the very best. That's an Ewald Kubota. I'll tell it to you again. From the Gulf Coast to the hill country of Texas, for 75 years, Ewald has been your Kubota dealer.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. A couple of trouble spots to be on the lookout for. I-10 westbound, that off-ramp to Fresno. Do have an accident, off-ramp blocked. Looks like the left lane of that frontage road is blocked as well. Getting report that this is a rollover accident. Again, that's I-10 westbound, the off-ramp to Fresno, blocked with a crash. 35 southbound approaching Weidner, that stall still there. It's in the right lane, causing a little bit of a delay from right around Evans. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking.
How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's finally upon us, Rob. Championship weekend is here.
You know, they keep telling me that chaos could ensue. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of chaos.
What chaos could ensue?
I don't know. I keep reading articles. Possible chaos. Where? How? I don't. It's maybe some reseeding.
Chaos could ensue if what?
The
only thing that's really going to make a difference in the world is if Clemson wins.
But even then, it's not really. Yeah, okay. So Clemson wins, but SMU's still going. They're not going to get knocked out. I think SMU's golden.
I think they will, but I don't think they're golden by any means.
They'd have to get thoroughly humiliated to get knocked out.
Well, you know what? Let's take a look at the playoff odds, or like the odds to make the playoffs. I wonder if that's if that market is still.
But, you expect the Big 12 to catapult a team in, so I guess that could be chaos, and we'll see.
The Big 12 was always going to have a team in, but they're only getting one.
So I guess and watching Miami fall out. Which
Miami's already out.
I mean, but if they didn't expect, I think they wouldn't be out. But they expect to be falling out because the Big 12's not there.
Okay. So, who do you think has better odds right now to make the playoff? Alabama or SMU?
SMU should.
Alabama's.
See, that's just wrong.
Isn't that wild?
I think that's because of what we heard from the committee.
Maybe
so. But two losses playing for a conference title. I just can't imagine that it doesn't happen for them. But that's the only place I can see some chaos. There might be some reseeding, and I think we'll debate whether a Boise State or a UNLV deserves a bye, but I don't think that's chaos.
If UNLV wins, they're going to be the 12 seed.
Yeah.
And the Big 12 is going to get their bye.
So either one of those, I think we look at that fourth team with a bye and go, them? They earned a bye? But other than that, I don't see a whole lot of, I can't believe this happened.
I'm going to say this again, though. I don't think that Oregon or Texas losing is the worst thing in the world for them, because being that 5 seed,
I hear you. But the moment you start playing God and Puppet Master, it always bites you in the ass.
But when you realize that you're going to play UNLV in round 1, or you're going to play Arizona State in round 1 at home, and then in round 2 you're going to either travel to UNLV or Arizona State or Iowa State.
You're the devil on the shoulder, but it's bad juju, man. You make a deal with the devil.
I'm not saying you throw the game.
I'm not. I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying you don't play like it's a priority. Now, that said, both of those schools, Texas and Oregon, there could be a pride factor of we just showed up in your conference and won it.
Yeah, and we're going to – well, I think there's not just you think. I guarantee you. Judging by the DMs I'm getting, yeah, there's something to be had to go do this that nobody else has done, and Oregon can say the same. There's no chaos coming, but what is coming will be extraordinary. It'll just reinforce to me the fact that what we're going to get over the next 5 weeks is pretty impressive. This is going to be a lot of fun.
There are 3 games tonight, Tulane and Army,
which looked like
the American Championship game.
So important up until last week.
Yeah, well – yeah, Tulane was they were in a good position. Losing last week to Memphis, not only did it cost them a chance at the playoff, which I think they legitimately had until that. More importantly, though, it cost them home field advantage. And there is a big difference for this team, this Tulane team that wants to throw the ball around.
In the calm environs of New Orleans.
Oh, my good. I saw it's like 20 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour winds. Who wants to go play in that? If you're a Southern Louisiana kid, how many? I mean, if I said that 80% of Tulane's roster, if I guessed that 80% of their roster was from the Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah, within
somewhere
100 miles
between
of the
Texas
ocean.
or Louisiana, Texas or Florida. Would you say that's probably 80%?
Without a doubt.
And now you're asking those kids to go to New York and play in that?
Against a team who is just going to batter you.
Who's built for it.
Mm-hmm.
And in a game that's all about just toughness, who's going to be tougher? No one's going to be tougher than Bryson Daly.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. This was a tough draw for the Tulane. But
Tulane is better, and Tulane has played a tougher schedule. But, man, playing this game at home is such a major benefit for Army. I don't think it can be overlooked.
I agree.
I like Army as a dog, and I think I like them to win outright. Western Kentucky's at Jacksonville State. That number's up to 4.5 now.
I don't know. I don't trust your power ratings there.
I like Jacksonville State here. I played Jacksonville State early on the money line. They're just going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball down Western Kentucky's throat.
You know, Artis Gilmore went there.
Did he? I did not know that. To Jacksonville State?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's all I know about the school.
Rich Rodriguez is their coach.
Rich Rod, all right.
Yep. And then the UNLV Boise State game is of all the games tonight that really matter, it's the one that does, because it's going to decide who the G5 representative is in the playoff. So this is a playoff game tonight. UNLV and Boise State. I got to be honest. Boise State's a 4.5, 5-point favorite, depending where you look. Boise State is trending down. They are not looking as dominant as they did early in the season. They're kind of getting by.
Haven't they already beaten them?
They have, and it was a really close game. Nobody this year has done a better job of slowing down Ashton Genty than UNLV did, and UNLV had a turnover at that gave Boise a 7-yard drive, and they missed a kick. Otherwise, UNLV wins that game, and that was.
But they're not better than Boise State.
No, I don't think
they're not. Do they have a puncher? That go-go offense is enough to take you by surprise.
I think they're going to win tonight. I think they'll beat Boise.
I think Boise State's style.
Right now, Genty's beat up. Like you've seen him slow down over the last couple of weeks. I think that UNLV's in prime position.
I'm giving him the ball until he can't walk tonight. This is the biggest football game in Boise State history.
And you don't have a quarterback who can carry you either.
Ashton, I hope you got your sleep, because you're going to get the ball 40 times tonight.
Big 12 championship tomorrow, Arizona State, Iowa State. This game has been ping-ponging all over the board. Arizona State currently a 1.5-point favorite. Total is 49.5. This is weird. Arizona State, I'll say this. Arizona State's receiver is out, and he is the entirety of their passing offense.
But Scadaboo's in, right?
Scadaboo's
They're
in.
good.
But if you said, okay, take Arizona's Arizona State's number 1 wide receiver and take all the rest of their wide receivers combined and add up all their production, number 1, double the rest of those guys.
Over the field.
He's like 65% of their passing offense, and he's out. So you become a one-man team against an Iowa State team that's a run funnel defense. They want you to run on them. I wanted to bet Arizona State here. I think I'm just going to stay away from the game, just because I think that's a big difference.
You've done enough of these weekend tournaments in your grassroots coaching days. This feels like this game is the losers bracket that's trying to play their way back into the winners bracket. Like all the other winners are standing around looking at like who are we going to play? Is it Iowa State?
Dude, when I'm sitting here telling you it wouldn't be the worst thing for Oregon to lose so they could play the winner of this game, I mean,
if you'd have told me at the beginning of the year that the Big 12 title came down to Arizona State, Iowa State, to play in and possibly get a bye, they won't, but they could, in the playoff, I'd have told you at the very beginning, well, there's a problem. We've already got an issue. This is not the way that this was supposed to work out. But, in fact, this is exactly the way that it was supposed to turn out. This is exactly what college football wanted. They wanted everybody represented, even those that you didn't think were possible. This is such a letdown game to me. This is the losers bracket. This is the one team that's going to fall ass backwards into the playoff.
I agree.
Do
you know what the win total was for Arizona State coming into the season? You know how many games they were supposed to win?
What, 4?
4.5.
4.5.
Isn't that wild that here they are with a chance to make the play? Which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's a cool story.
It's a great, but it's the NBA's East. We all know how you got here. It's obvious. You're the AP vote getter. You're not there, and everybody knows it.
You want to hear something crazy? Back in September, Arizona State traveled to San Marcos, Texas.
Yep.
And they played Texas State in San Marcos. And the Texas State Bobcats were 3-point favorites over this team that might be in the playoff after Saturday.
So
isn't that wild?
It's either the best thing that could happen to football, or if those that like we're looking for a true champ, is the worst. Like that team is playing into the playoff while Ole Miss is sitting and watching, while LSU is sitting and watching, by all these who could take Arizona State to the woodshed 5 out of 10 times, 6, 8 out of 10 times.
This team lost to Cincinnati.
But
they lost to Texas Tech. It is a bad. I mean,
let's not get lost.
It's an ugly game.
Yes, it's ugly, and it's aggravating for all those teams that are close. But we got to remember, this is what we were gonna get. This is what we wanted to get. At least some people, and we got it. We got representation whether we want it or not.
You know what else we get? MAC championship in Detroit. Miami of Ohio, a 2-point favorite over Ohio. I won't belabor this, but these teams just played a month ago, and the game was like a 3-point win for Miami of Ohio. The game was a 3-point win because Ohio scored 14 points in the last 3 minutes. It was a dominant performance by Miami. I think they're just a better team. Ohio wasn't supposed to be in this game. Miami was favored to be in the into the MAC championship. So I think Miami's just better. So I like them. Georgia, Texas, the rematch. 2.5 points is the number. Texas, a favorite, total of 50. I believe that this Georgia team is as weak defensively as they've ever been under Kirby Smart. And they did the only game they did a really good job in defensively was the Texas game.
Well,
Georgia Tech just put up 1 million yards against them. That's Georgia Tech.
Oh, I agree.
And I think that Sark he's too good of a game planner to let the same thing beat him twice. I think Texas actually might roll in this game. I think Texas might win by double digits.
I don't see double digits. I see them being very competitive, but I also see that thing that you keep talking about that most teams wouldn't even bring up, about if we lose, it ain't the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you get into a situation like that, like this, for a team that has never done it, and you have the slightest, well, if it doesn't work out, it's still going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think you need to go into enemy territory. This is a roadie in Atlanta, and they're already having a measuring contest, so you can't even bring your mascot. You're not even going to let you bring that cow in here. You're going to have to bring 101% because it's going to take that because you're going to get the SEC refs, they ain't going to be friends of Texas. Trust me, you're not going to get the calls. It's just I don't know how that works, but it does. You're going to have to be that and more to beat Georgia. You're going to have to be not only equal to and better than Georgia, but even better than that because you're going to run into some stuff that you're not accustomed to. And that's the one thing I worry about with Texas this weekend is there's an out. And if we don't win, we're still okay. And I don't like that. I need Texas going in. If we lose, it's over. And that team against A&M would beat Georgia. The team that beat A&M would beat Georgia. I just hope they bring that same edge.
We'll look at Marshall, Louisiana, Clemson, SMU, and Penn State, Oregon when we do the daily lines later on in the show. I want to at least give those the last. I don't think we need to talk much about Marshall, Louisiana, but the other two games I think warrant some discussion. So we'll do that during the daily lines. Did you see why Bevo's not allowed at the field?
No.
They were worried because the Chick-fil-A mascot is going to be there, and they were worried there might be cow-on-cow crime.
Well,
eat more chicken, like that cow walking around with the sign.
I'm
they
down.
were worried that Bevo would attack that cow.
I might buy the first calf.
Yeah.
Or if they put that up for auction, I might take that.
You might take that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
give me some more horns to saw off.
Imagine the Chick-fil-A
make some good hamburgers
mascot with long horns.
Yeah.
Now that's
I'd be happy to saw those off and have myself a good steak. Put 13-0 on its ass.
I mean, before you start sawing anything off, you might want to saw off an offensive point.
Oh, you know. I mean, incremental growth. I got a full year to worry about that.
When we come back, we will hear from our good friend Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll dig more into the football when we do the daily lines. Plus, great college basketball slate tomorrow that we'll kick around a little bit as well during that segment. So, still a lot to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportsstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football giveaway. Register and win at sasportsstar.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great! Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
Or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. A couple of trouble spots to be on the lookout for. I-10 westbound, that off-ramp to Fresno. Do have an accident, off-ramp blocked. Looks like the left lane of that frontage road is blocked as well. Getting reports that this is a rollover accident. Again, that's I-10 westbound, the off-ramp to Fresno, blocked with a crash. 35 southbound approaching Weidner, that stall still there. It's in the right lane. Causing a little bit of a delay from right around Evans. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs fall to the Chicago Bulls last night, 139-124. No Wemby. Yes, there was a problem. Keldon Johnson came to play, paced him with 28, but it wasn't enough. They get a chance to come back tonight, a back-to-backer with the Sacramento Kings in the building, tip at 7 o'clock. Dallas Cowboys All-Pro guard Zack Martin's calling it a year. Will it be a career, as he is going to end the season and undergo ankle surgery? I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Coach McCarthy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Well, it sounds like you got some pep in your step, a couple back-to-back wins, a little rest. How you feeling, Coach? How are you feeling about the team right now?
My sleep score is definitely elevated, but that's a good thing. But no, we're getting healthy as a football team. We're having a good week. The mini bye week has served us well. But we're all about Cincinnati. We got a big challenge coming here Monday night.
Before we get in the nuts and bolts, the broadcast on Monday night is going to kind of be a dual broadcast. Did you ever dream you'd be on The Simpsons, Coach? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, they're doing
enlighten me.
They're doing a simulcast on ESPN Plus where the game is going to be all in Simpsons characters.
Wow.
Yeah. So Homer Simpson will be coaching the Cowboys on television, but I guess maybe he'll be working directly with you. But yeah, you're going to be Simpsonized this weekend or on Monday.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Listen, we all have our career highs, and congratulations. I know that Super Bowl was cool and all, but you're going to be on The Simpsons.
Yeah,
now,
we're proud to have been able to tell you,
Coach. I guess let's get out the Zack Martin thing. This is obviously disappointing. When you say we're getting a little healthy, this is one that isn't going your way. But Zack Martin, talk about what he means to the team in that locker room, because it seems like, even as people have talked about his play maybe slipping a little bit, he still seems like he's maybe the most respected guy in that locker room. What's it mean to not have him for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, without a doubt. And I think you've kind of hit on it already. I mean, Zack means so much to us, as a football team and really as an organization. He represents the Dallas Cowboys so well on and off the field. His playing career and the Pro Bowls, the consistency of how he plays and is really a clear illustration of really how he lives his life. Just very, very consistent, very well respected. Great teammate. But yes, that was some tough news, and the irony of it all. Also coming on the day that he's nominated for one of the greatest awards. The Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee also. So I just think that speaks volumes about who Zack is.
And as just kind of part of this season, the next man up is going to have to step in. Here come the Bengals. With an offense, Coach, that is kind of finding its ground, going against a defense that's given up some yards. Rico Dowdle, have you been just waiting on this? Has it just been a matter of time for Dowdle to be able to do what he did last week?
I think it's more just a work in progress. It's obviously starts up front with the run blocking unit, and and then the backs, the discipline and the decision making and the coursework and so forth, and and obviously we had some out of balance games, way too many out of balance games early in the year. But I think it's just a product of just the guys continue to work, and we've always loved Rico's run style, and he's only going to get stronger as the game goes on. So it's been great to get him those touches.
When you game plan for the Cincinnati Bengals this year, it feels like game planning your offense against their defense probably is a lot more fun than game planning your defense against their offense. What do you see that you guys can do to slow down this Bengals attack that hadn't led them to a bunch of wins, but there's a bunch of points being scored and a bunch of yards being put up? How do you slow them down?
Well, it's like anything. It starts up front, and you got to get the run game under control, and try to limit their passing game to strictly a drop back, and that's really one of the best things they do too. So been very, very impressed with their passing game. Just a connection, between Joe and the perimeter guys. And it's going to be a big challenge for us. So, but this thing will start up front for sure.
The combination of still being mathematically available to the playoffs, playing a team that's a snake bit but very good, certainly helps Linda. I would sure add a little bit more of a sense of urgency given where you guys stand. As you guys move forward into this week, what's been the biggest difference in watching Cooper from first week of starting till now? What's different with him?
Oh, I think just clearly getting all the reps. I think, especially at the quarterback position, you just look at the mathematics of it all. When you're the backup, you only get, you get very limited reps. And now that he's been taking every walkthrough rep, he's the lead voice in the room, in the group meetings, and then obviously getting all the team reps. So he's just so much more comfortable right now.
How's his rhythm different from Dak's? What's is there something that you had to adjust to as play callers and offense from him from what Dak was?
No, absolutely. Every quarterback has a different rhythm, or every quarterback has things that they feel better about than others, and that's an important part of the play callers and the quarterback's relationship to spend that time in the meetings, talk through things, make sure there's clarity on the call expectation. We have a PCP, we call it play caller's purpose tag that's put on every single play, so we're clearly on the same page of why it's called and when it's being called, exactly what the emphasis may be. So yeah, that definitely is something that you have to work with on every quarterback.
Coach, early in the season, as you guys were struggling to find explosiveness on offense, you guys seem to have maybe run into some with Kevontae Turp in the last few weeks. How much of a concerted effort is it to keep your home run hitter out there and try and at least have the threat of that massive play?
Well, I look at Turp as a receiver. We've been rolling him in there all year. He's just been getting some opportunities that have come his way. He's been getting the one-on-ones. We've been able to get him the ball some design plays. But as we know, he's so dynamic. I'm just so proud of the young man because when he came here, he was clearly just a kick returner. But I mean, he's worked his tail off, and Terp knows this offense inside and out, so he's able to play the X, the Z, and the F, and so we just continue to move him around.
Talking about guys that are playing into their potential on the defensive side of the ball, DeMarvin Overshown has really been grabbing headlines. Talk about his growth and what's his best use? What's his highest and best use on the defensive side?
Well, number one, availability and just get his play time up. So just having him out there, full time has been great, and just and changing up his opportunities too. We've done some more, with him schematically.
Like
him
what?
Some opportunity. Put him on the edge and and things like that. Giving him some pressure packages and he's definitely producing.
Coach, there's been a lot of discussion about your future, obviously, as the season's gone on, and it suddenly feels like there's a big, almost a surge of people who are saying Mike McCarthy should be back next year with the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones saying it's not a crazy idea to think that you could be back. Dak's talking about you being back. I mean, how do you feel personally about the job you've done this year, and how do you feel about the idea of continuing to coach the Cowboys for the long term? Like, I guess the question is, are you happy with your situation here in Dallas, and do you expect to be around long term?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, when we were, discussing this way back in the spring, I've addressed those things, and and now we get to this point in the season, and I appreciate all the kind words. That's for sure, and it's definitely better than the alternative. But I think clearly my focus is on beating the Bengals, and that's where it needs to be. We all have situations that we're in, as far as our contracts and so forth, and I've done this for a long time. I'm very confident in the job that I am doing, but I'm very, very proud of the coaching staff and the job that they've done. So it's important for all of us just to stay where our feet are and stay focused on this, and that time of evaluation will come at the end.
I'm one of these people, but I've heard it from several people that as rough as this season has gone for the Cowboys, it's really hard to put the blame on Mike McCarthy. And as the head coach, I'm sure you take more weight than anyone is going to try to put on you, but how much of that do you own? How much of this season do you feel like is yours to eat versus, circumstance and everything else going on in the world? You're probably taking more ownership of this than I'm trying to give you, but is that an accurate statement for me to say that, the Cowboys' bad season or disappointing season isn't necessarily Mike McCarthy's fault?
Well, the first thing, the season's not over, and I think that's part of the problem, and not problem. I think it's just part of the way the world is in sports today. I mean, we're making evaluations, 1/3, halfway through, through the season. So there's still a lot of football left to be played. I think that's important, but I think the reality of it is I am the head coach. I am the lead individual, and I do own it. This is my football team that I'm coaching. I'm in charge of the training, every schedule, the decisions of, how we're going to play, and have the ability to put my signature on it. So yeah, you have to own it. I mean, that's the responsibility of being a head coach in the National Football League.
Mike McCarthy joining us, courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds, as always on a Friday morning. Look back at on Monday night. When you look at Joe Burrow, what's the first thing you think about, and what are you trying to take away initially with him?
I'll just say from the quarterback position, I really appreciate the way he plays. I think he's super talented. He has total command of the position, and but his anticipation, accuracy, I think is top notch. So with that, I think the biggest thing is you got to try to take away the first receiver and try to get him to play off the spot, which he also does a nice job of, sliding in the pocket and stepping up and coming out. And does a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield in the scramble. So it's just, you got to just try to continue to try to break his rhythm.
when you look at a defense that has, I mean, the Bengals defense, there's no other way to put it, has been pretty bad this season, but they have a guy. This Trey Hendrickson is a dude. When you've got a game plan for, a defense that people might not think much of, but they have a guy who can just wreck an entire game, how much of your focus goes to that one guy and what you can do to really solve that problem?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to recognize it. It's all over the tape. I mean, just definitely having the extra time this week. He's a threat. I mean, he has he's a great motor, but he's a technician. He does a great job. In a really fast time clock too, and he doesn't waste any steps, so he can get on you in a hurry. But yeah, definitely. I mean, he's going to get a lot of attention from us. But this defense is very high volume and scheme, and they've definitely put us to work this week in all the different variations of defensive personnel and the schematic volume that they have on tape.
When you look at a defense like that is high volume and scheme, the timing of movement that your offense requires, how much time do you have to dedicate to that?
Dedicate to?
I mean, just getting your personnel ready to go as quickly as they move their personnel. I've seen a couple of issues with some reffing calls over the last couple of weekends with that substitution pattern getting weird.
I'm sorry, Rod.
I'm just saying, you talk about their high volume. You mean they play a lot of different schemes, and as you prepare with a bunch of guys that are next man up that aren't really used to playing in that kind of offense, how much time do you have to dedicate to make sure your personnel is just ready to be on the field?
Well, we're gonna dedicate all the time that we have. We'll be ready, but I mean, we'll be ready to go. It's we've been fortunate. We have an extra practice day this week. The guys were there's a lot of guys that were here over the weekend, so. We'll be ready to go. I'm confident.
Let's talk about the bodies. CeeDee Lamb, who missed the second half last week against the Giants on Thanksgiving. What's his status like? Do you expect him to be a full go? And how's Brandon Cooks? How's he doing after getting on the field for a little bit?
Yeah, CeeDee's he was limited yesterday, so I'm hopeful with the extra time that he'll be ready to go by Monday. But he's definitely making progress towards that. And Brandon was in the same category yesterday, so we're just being smart with the volume of reps. But today is a normal in-season Thursday practice for us, so this will be our highest volume of work today. So I'm hopeful those guys can take everything that they need game plan wise.
Well, the mini bye couldn't have come at a better time, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. A little win streak. They're saying there's a chance. Good luck this weekend, and we always bid you, as always, a good health.
All right. Thank you, man. Take care.
Thank you. That is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And as always, all guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at I-10 upper level eastbound at Frio Street. An accident that's now off to the right shoulder. 35 frontage road southbound Weidner. Disabled vehicle right lane blocked. And a stall at 35 southbound Fisher Road now off to the shoulder. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $2,000 $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GARAGE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GARAGE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GARAGE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Tri-County Meat Market. You've heard me talk about great deals over and over, and there is no better deal in all of San Antonio than the 5 for 30. 5 items in a bag. You walk out of Tri-County with 2, maybe 3 meals in your bag. No better deal to be found either on Ralph Fair or out on Evener. Tri-County Meat has everything to up your grilling game, and 5 for 30, go pick that up and come by and thank me later. Tri-County Meat Market.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
George Gets Justice. The attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers are proud of their local roots and their deep connection to San Antonio. They stand up for their neighbors, fight for justice, and make sure every voice is heard. When you've been injured in an accident, count on George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George guarantees that you don't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George Gets Justice. Getgeorge.com.
Count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA 20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Valid offer for a limited time, only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Well, there's a movie theme today with my my stories. I found a list of the best movies ever to watch on an airplane.
Oh, okay. So like Airport 77 would not be one that you.
So it says the rules of an airplane movie. The running time is manageable.
To an hour and a half or less, you'd think.
Yeah, visuals aren't the point. It needs to be something you can watch on a small screen, whether it's an iPad or whatever. You can't
Completely agree.
Saving Private Ryan's probably not an ideal airplane movie. Sounds aren't the point either. Ideally, you can watch it on mute and not lose much.
No, I disagree with that.
The content of the movie is such that you won't be arrested for watching it in a crowded place, especially around children.
I want boobies and cursing.
might be something you probably meant to see in theaters but just never got around to. And don't let yourself get attached to anything you're not willing to turn off in 30 seconds.
That's true.
All right. The all-timers. All-timers. Let's I guess let's start at the top. Let's start at number 1. Let's just go straight from there, and then we'll see if there's any other ones worth mentioning. The number 1, and you know what? We'll do the top 10. I like to do a good countdown, and it just feels weird to start number 1 after I said that. Number 10, A Few Good Men.
All right.
I like that movie. I think most people have seen it enough that they know. Like
I can handle the truth.
It doesn't get old. Number 9, Game Night.
The comedy with Bateman?
Yes.
Yeah. That's not bad. Okay, see, I normally gravitate to comedies.
That's a good thing to grab to.
I don't normally gravitate to anything that's going to make me think of death and dismemberment.
Number 8. The only bad thing about a comedy is if you laugh,
well, I don't mind that.
Then you're laughing out loud with your headphones in, and I hate
normally I'm
that.
3 scotches in. It doesn't matter. I'm laughing at something anyway.
Number 8's a movie I've never seen. I've seen snippets of it and never watched the whole movie. The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh well, yeah, that's bubblegum.
Okay,
and she looks fantastic.
Yeah, she's a hot lady.
Yeah. So yeah.
Number 7, Face Off. I'm hoping this is the only John
Sean
Travolta
Connery?
movie. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
The
one where literally they trade faces.
Was Connery the bad guy? No, it was Ed Harris that was the bad guy.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, great movie of a bygone era. Sure, why not?
Number 6, Knives Out.
See, that's one. Now you're committed to this.
You got to pay attention to that movie
and
too.
Also, if for whatever reason the Wi-Fi goes out, you kind of have no idea how it ends. You got to see that. That would be aggravating if that didn't finish.
Number 5. I thought this movie was long, so it doesn't seem ideal to me. Catch Me If You Can.
See, that's airline. See, I would avoid anything to do with airlines.
Yeah, I mean, Airplane would be funny, but
even then.
Yeah,
because this one doesn't DiCaprio pretend like he's an airline pilot and get on planes? Yeah, okay. If I was an airline, I don't think I'd show that.
Well, I mean, I think the thought is you're bringing this in to watch yourself. You're bringing this in
so
on your iPad.
So it's not on the catalog of the free movies. I got you.
Number 4, Top Gun Maverick.
I guess the airplane theme continues.
But it seems like when you want to watch a show like that on a bigger screen with like
that is a large screen kind of thing.
Number 3, Crazy Rich Asians, which I've never seen.
No, I haven't either. I'm kind of embarrassed to say.
Number 2, Moneyball.
Why Moneyball?
Well, it says here, one of the great ironies of traveling is that the best airport books don't often make the basis of the best airplane movies.
True.
All due respect to Malcolm Gladwell, or for that matter, Dan Brown, but rarely do we see the Hudson Book Bestsellers section translate into cinematic greatness.
That's true.
Bennett Miller's Moneyball is one glaring exception, even though it has no real right to be. It's the story of a team of ragtag losers who never won anything, but who ultimately pull it together in spite of their cheap owner. But this isn't exactly Major League, which Major League, I think, would be a better.
You just described Major League.
For one, nobody wants to see Steven Schott stripped down. Also, Moneyball is mostly told through numbers on a balance sheet, statistics you won't find on the back of a baseball card, and econ concepts like market inefficiencies. See, I think Moneyball is not as fun as Major League.
Yeah.
I like Moneyball the movie, but I don't think this is a flight movie.
Yeah, that takes a little bit more concentration than it's not a bad movie. And, Brad Pitt's dreamy.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's that. And we still have Fat Jonah, which I appreciate Fat Jonah more than Skinny Jonah.
Brad Pitt also in the number 1 movie. Ocean's 11.
Oh, well, there you go. That's Ocean's 11 is one of the 5 or 6 movies that no matter where I am, no matter when it is, if I stumble on it, I have to watch the rest of it.
It's a good movie.
And no matter, I'm serious, if I'm looking for something else and I find it, I'll end up watching the rest of it.
And you said Brad Pitt's dreamy. So is George Clooney.
Always.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure which
man.
Was Ocean's 11 on this list?
That's
number one. It should be. That's a
number
good
one,
an excellent one.
That is number 1 on the list. All right, let's stay in the movies and go to a movie theater in Wisconsin. It seems that someone brought a dead person to a movie and forgot to leave them or forgot to bring them out of the theater. This is in, how do you say this word? You're from Wisconsin. Is it Beloit? Beloit, Wisconsin. According to Beloit police, an urn containing ashes was found at Classic Cinemas. And
what movie? Do we know what movie it was left in? It sounds like A Dying Wish.
It doesn't say, but it really should. That would tell the rest of the story.
I wish it was some kind of like Boondock Saints, some kind of off movie where you go, yeah, they left it there on purpose.
I wish that this was at an adult theater where, like, you know,
the ashes.
The ashes of Pee Wee Herman were left behind in the adult
once
movie.
they hit the floor, they're going to be stuck. You know that.
It's really hard to clean up.
Won't be any sweeping. It was going to be mopping.
The movie theater initially kept the urn for a few weeks, hoping someone would claim it, but then they turned it over to the police department. And Beloit police are seeking the public's assistance in locating the owner of this urn.
I recognize that urn. That's Martha.
We want to return the ashes. If you can describe the urn, please send us a message or call our evidence room. I don't know, like, is it like the Undertaker urn, like a brass?
This sounds like A Dying Wish. I'm telling you, this is in a will, like what I want to do. They couldn't spread the ashes. It was too creepy, but they just left the urn.
The City of Beloit Police Department tweeted out, "Did you recently take a loved one's ashes to catch a flick at the movie theater in Beloit? We have an urn with ashes that was found at the theater. We want to return those ashes."
If they hadn't figured it out, they don't want it.
That's kind of where I'm at.
That's why I do believe once I'm dead, leave me in the third chair because I have fond memories of Martha Ann back in 37.
Mm-hmm.
She had soft hands, did Martha.
There you go. That's a look around some things that have nothing to do with sports. All right, when we come back, we'll do what we do to wrap up the show. We'll take a look at the daily lines. A lot of football this weekend. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about SA Card House. Man, I had a great time at SA Card House last night until the very end. And unfortunately, I played for about 6 hours and came up just short of winning the money. And we had a $20,000 prize pool last night, so that would have been real nice to get a chunk of that, like $4,500 for first place. But you know what? The good news is there's tournaments every day. Get back in it. I'll get myself right back in the saddle, baby. That's the way to do it, and SA Card House is the place to do it. Right there, 281 and Bitters. This is San Antonio's premier card house. Tournaments every day. Cash games going 24/7. All kinds of skill level, all kinds of random games. They play Big O there, Omaha, high-low, play all kinds of games there, but of course mostly Hold'em games. But again, it is a great time if you're a poker player, and if you're not, you want to get into it. It's a great place to do it. They've got games that are comfortable for any level. So go on by, check it out. Fantastic food, bar and grill there, Foster's Bar and Grill. I saw something on the menu last night, and I saw someone eating it. I've already decided I'm getting it next time. Spicy orange chicken with fried rice looks incredible. And if you like good booze, they've got it. I had a couple pours of Blanton's last night. It's always a good day when Blanton's is on the menu. So check them out, 281 and Bitters. Follow them on the socials at SA Card House. See when the tournaments are, and I will see you on the tables.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hey, Dad. Mom wants pizza for dinner. You want to run out?
Sure. I need to get gas anyways. Give me a minute.
Cool. Hey, what's that bottle?
It's stable. You just add it to the fuel tank, and it keeps these engines healthy. When you start driving, I'll put some in your car, too.
Which one do I get?
How much money you got?
At every fill-up, or when you store, start with Stable.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, this is Greeny. We'll tackle the NFL and dive into the NBA today at 10 on 94.1 San
the movie Clueless, having prime Alicia Silverstone and young debuting Brittany Murphy.
Yeah, that's one of the best ones. Okay, the same era. What was the one with Matt Dillon?
Wild Things with Denise Richards and Neve Campbell. That's up there. And that one has an advantage of showing boobies.
Yes, we had a
and
wonderful
like
car wash scene.
And a swimming pool scene also, the threesome swimming pool scene.
I do recall that. Fine movie, by the way.
But also around that same time, if you really wanted to see Denise Richards' boobies, the better place to see them was Starship Troopers.
Yes, you got to see them there. And now I understand she has an OnlyFans.
can't you just watch Starship Troopers?
You could.
Listen, no offense to Denise Richards. I'm sure she's
held
holding
on
up
quite
fine.
well, yeah.
But I'm going to guess. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 25-year-old Denise Richards, probably hotter than 50-year-old Denise Richards.
I think even Denise herself would agree with that.
So I'll stick with the classics. Did she
marry somebody famous?
Charlie Sheen.
That's what I thought. She's got one or two permanent STDs.
Yeah. And B. Hannon says R.I.P. Luann. Yep, Luann Platter, voiced by good old Brittany Murphy.
Luann, gone too soon.
I love Brittany Murphy because Brittany Murphy could be hot in so many different ways. Like she was hot in that movie Just Married with Ashton Kutcher. She's like really cute and
Was that
classy.
the last one she made? She made a drama of some sort. She had the heroin chic look to her too. She could look a little skinny and wore out.
No, because she did she was doing movies all the way up until like 2008 or 9 when she died. But when she was in 8 Mile and she was real, she had she was slummy and guttery.
Yeah, she had that heroin look to her.
Oh, that was hot.
Oh, you liked that, did you?
Yes.
The thick eyeliner.
Yeah, I liked that.
A couple of bruises on her thighs.
Yes. Yeah, that was hot. I don't know. It doesn't get much hotter than that. And there's a scene where she licks her palm, and I'm like, oh, I love you. All right, let's do what we always do around this time and take a look at the daily lines.
See what she did.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 and Bitters. I got to go get my money back sometime this weekend. Got me yesterday.
Ever chase a bad bet?
I was so mad. The guy had no business being in the hand with me, and that's the way it goes. That's poker for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at. You know what? We'll start with the college football games that we didn't get to earlier when we were breaking those down. But I mentioned the Sun Belt Championship game is Marshall and Louisiana. I don't really have a great feel for this game. Kind of lean towards Louisiana. But not nothing solid.
I heard Jimbo might be heading back to that.
I've heard that as well.
Marshall, West Virginia. We'll see.
Clemson is at SMU. Clemson and SMU in the ACC championship game in Charlotte. SMU a 2.5-point favorite. I got a feeling Clemson gets them. I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that they do. I've liked this SMU team all year. And what I like more than anything is the over. 55 is the total. I think there's going to be a bunch of points scored. Both these teams play fast. Yeah. Clemson can be got with big plays, and SMU can be got with big plays. And I think there's going to be big plays. I think it's important for Cade Klubnik to run the football.
And that's what they've been doing.
And that's where Clemson's turned it around, is they said, hey, you got to be a dual-threat guy. And he has been, and he's dangerous that way. I think that's what gives me a lean towards Clemson here.
Well, it certainly does feel like SMU has not been in a place like this before. I mean, when they hired Lashley, I don't think they thought they'd be playing for a title this quickly.
And there's something to the desperation of knowing if you don't win, you're going to the ReliaQuest Bowl
and
or
I think
some garbage.
That falls to where Texas might run into. I think SMU's safe if they lose. I do believe in their heart of hearts that they go, look at what we've done. We deserve to be there no matter what happens. And that's really not the attitude you can have in this kind of game. And Clemson, it's do or die, baby.
And then Penn State and Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. And it kind of sucks because these two games kick off at the same time.
And you'd think. I mean, we got enough time over the weekend. We can spread this out. We don't need to just.
Yeah.
You'd think that they would, mutually agree. I know you're all competitors. I won't kick until 6. I'll wait until your game is over.
At least,
You'll kick at 3.
Stagger them.
Yeah.
11-1, 3-5-7. That way, if a game's a blowout, you can be like, yep, I'm done with this game. But, yeah, I don't really get that. But either way, Oregon, a 3.5-point favorite. Total is 50. It's hard for me to get past small game James. And the fact that this dude never, ever, ever wins a big game, it's just hard for me to want to back him here.
Yep.
And I do think Oregon is better. I don't know. I mean, I make this game about where it is. I've got Oregon 4 points better.
Where are they playing?
It's 3.5. They're playing in Indianapolis. And if you told me one of these teams on the fast track who's got an advantage, I'd say probably Oregon, even though Oregon's the outdoor team. Like if this game were being played in Pennsylvania where it's cold, I think you'd have some advantages for Penn State. But indoors,
I just think Oregon is more prepared for the moment. They've been here before. They played in these big games and had success doing it.
Now, mind you, Dan Lanning's not exactly a big game coach either.
No, he's had issues. There's no getting around it. But what I will say is Oregon is faster, and they've been here before, and to me that's the separator. And also, again, both these teams know they're in.
Yeah.
And it would be worthy to hold something back. I don't know how Penn State responds. I will say if Penn State is ever going to do it, now's the time.
Now's the time, but they probably won't. That's just not what they do. They don't win. They don't win big games ever. It's James Franklin. He just does. You know what's going to happen. And I got suckered into it once already. Remember when I was like, they'll beat Ohio State this year. They're good. No, they're not.
Well, the thing that'll happen to Franklin will be you won a Big Ten title, but you didn't beat Michigan or Ohio State.
Exactly.
You didn't beat them, so it really doesn't matter as much.
There's only one game in the top 25 tonight in college hoops, Illinois and Northwestern. Illinois a 3.5-point favorite on the road at Northwestern. I always say, man, I'm going to lean towards the Big Ten home team every damn time. And Northwestern's not terrible. Illinois is better, but they're not terrible. And give me home court. I guess, Illinois, it's not like it's going to be a big home court edge for Northwestern. I'm sure there's probably more Illinois fans there.
There will be. That's what I was going to say. Even though it's in Chicago, they're going to be more Illini fan in the building than there will be Northwestern.
But we got some real good games coming on Saturday. Wisconsin's at Marquette. We don't have numbers for these games yet, but some projections, like according to KenPom, that's a good way to kind of tell what the line is going to open at. And you never really know where people are going to push it from there. But Wisconsin and Marquette, looks like it's going to be Marquette minus about 8 hosting Wisconsin. That's another in-state rivalry game.
This is one of I would be very careful with this one because Wisconsin, the one thing that Wisconsin does is what Marquette doesn't, and that's be big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big number for a Marquette team that likes to get out and run, and Wisconsin is not going to let them.
Kentucky and Georgia are going to play on a neutral site game in Seattle at the Climate Pledge Arena there, where the new
Nike thing or
where the new NBA team will eventually be. I think Kentucky was like, yeah, we'll play you. We ain't playing in your building. We ain't playing in the kennel. You will play in a big arena.
Strange. It's not a tournament. It's just a one-off.
Just a one-off.
Must be a Nike thing.
Gonzaga, I would project probably around a 6-point favorite, and I think Gonzaga covers that. I think Gonzaga's a lot better than Kentucky is right now.
If Kentucky plays to their potential, they'll keep it close. But this is one of those roadies, and Gonzaga does everything that Kentucky hates.
Ryan Nembhard is not – so Kentucky, they need you to turn it over.
Right.
And Ryan Nembhard just doesn't turn it over.
Exactly.
The last couple years when it's been Nolan Hickman in charge, when Nolan Hickman was running point, it was like you can get Gonzaga. Now they said, Nembhard, you're the 1A and 1B ball handler. Now they're not turning it over. You don't turn them over, they're going to smoke you. I think they smoke Kentucky. We've got Nebraska, Michigan State. Michigan State probably about a 5-point favorite at home against Corn. And
be careful of the mayor. Fred's putting together a team. Be careful.
And then Iowa at Michigan. Michigan projected to be about a 7-point favorite there. I'm going to give you a little – there's going to be a team, and I just told you about playing home teams in the Big Ten. I'm going to fade one this weekend. If the number comes out around what I think it's going to, and I think Rutgers is probably going to be about an 8 or a 9-point dog at Ohio State, I got news. Ohio State's not good. They're actually like kind of a bad basketball team. I've watched them a couple times, and there's nothing like other than the name on their jerseys, there's no reason why you would think this team could be good at basketball. Like they're just not very good, and they're still getting respect in a market. I think there's a real good chance that Rutgers goes into Ohio State and wins, and they're going to be close to double-digit dogs. So I'm going to be on Rutgers in some form this weekend.
I watched them play Pittsburgh last week, and they fought them hard. But then I saw what Maryland did to them.
Oh, my God. You know what Ohio State's hanging their hat on right now is that win in the first game against Texas that was at T-Mobile. It was a neutral site, and I think if they play that game 9 more times, Texas probably wins 7 of them. So I think Texas wins that game 70% of the time. I watched them play A&M. They weren't competitive in that game.
They weren't.
That game against Maryland was embarrassing. Like, they got run off the floor.
18 turnovers. Bucks shot under 40% from the field. That's not the way you transit.
No.
I like this.
They just don't have anybody. So I think there's and because they've got a brand name, people are hesitant to say, oh, they suck, but I think they suck. You know who else I think sucks? Miami. Clemson's at Miami this weekend, and I know they're just coming off a game against Kentucky, and it was a huge win, and it might be a letdown spot for them. I've watched Miami a couple times. I'm not talking about like bad for a Miami. I'm talking about like this isn't a tournament team. Like I don't know if this is an NIT team.
Is
in
Nigel
Miami.
is Pack still with them? Does Larinaga still have that? That might be the problem.
So
guard play.
Well, Nigel Pack is still there, still running things, still turning the ball over at a pretty good clip. But they don't really have scoring. They don't play good defense. It looks like some of their best guys are freshmen, and Larinaga just doesn't want them on the floor.
Well, as is typical with him, his team will round into form at the end of February.
I don't think they will because I don't think I keep thinking when they made a Final Four run, it was so fluky. Like it's just a possibility that they've never been that good, and they won 4 games in a row, which can happen.
But I will say they're not the typical Larinaga team, but I know how Larinaga coaches, and his philosophy is we don't need to be great until tournament time, and he will hold you back.
They lost at home to Charleston Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Charleston Southern beat them in their house. Dude, they were like a 22-point favorite. Charleston Southern sucks.
The process that Larinaga takes you through, and he plays a herky style anyway, so there's not a lot of run and gun. And if you are not positive on 2 out of 3 possessions, they get behind and can't catch up.
And the other thing is they get Clemson here, and you might think, oh well, that's good. This is a big game for them. They're going to be up for it. The problem is they play Tennessee on Tuesday, so this is a tough spot for them, man. I think Clemson kicks the crap out of Miami this weekend. Taking a quick look at some of these NFL numbers over the weekend. The Vikings -5.5 hosting the Falcons. The Saints, we talked about this, 4.5-point road favorites at the Giants. The Giants are such a joke. Titans -3.5 at home against the Jags. Bucks -7 hosting the Raiders. The Browns +7 in Pittsburgh. I like that.
A lot of home. I like a lot of this home game. There's not a lot of road favorites for me on either side.
Yeah, give me the Browns on the road here.
Yeah.
Catching a touchdown? Yeah. Panthers are a road team. They're catching 13 points. I want nothing to do with it.
I don't know, man.
I just don't think they're going to score in this game. I don't know where their points come from.
Their whole season comes down to this.
No, their season's over.
The 49ers. Bryce is a new man.
And you know what? Last year, they didn't have a reason to tank because they didn't have a draft pick. This year they do. They might want to use it.
They're playing as good a football as I think they're capable of.
I think so, too.
I think it's really kind of funny that they
but
continue
the problem
to
is,
improve. But
so are the Eagles.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
Jets are at the Dolphins. Dolphins -5.5. Cardinals laying 3, hosting the Seahawks. Bills -3.5 on the road in L.A. with the Rams. Bears are +4 in San Francisco. I think we both kind of like the Bears there, the new coach bounce. And the Chargers catching 4 on the road in Kansas City, and I think we're in agreement there, too, that's a Chargers game. That's Sunday night game.
Yeah.
I also like the under in that game. Like I said, the Chargers' offense was pathetic last week against the Falcons. I trust their defense. I don't really trust their offense. I just think it's going to be a grimy, ugly game, which is why I lean to the 4 as well, because I think if it's a 4-point game on a 17-14 type night, if there's 30 points scored, that 4 is going to be a lot of points to overcome. So
feels like it's not a debut for Harbaugh, but this feels like an unveiling. That the Chargers' entire season was aimed toward the 49ers late one Sunday night where they get to unveil what they're becoming.
B. Hannon asks about Butler and UH. Yeah, that's another one that's going down this weekend.
U of H, come on now. They're going to run Butler out of the gym.
They'll probably be close to a double-digit favorite. B. Hannon says, my alumni, my alma mater, Austin P. I didn't graduate. I mean, I got credits from Austin P. I didn't graduate from there, but I'll still claim Austin P. Especially when they beat Butler. I'll give Austin P some love. The Governors.
Governor.
Take down Butler this year. So, yeah, I like Houston. At home, they're just so hard to deal with. Yeah, I guess that's the NBA lines. We've got to look at what's going on in the NBA.
Kings tonight.
The Magic are 3.5-point favorites at the 76ers. Why would you bet the Sixers in
no
this
one
spot?
should or would.
Bucks catching 8 in Boston. That's if you'd said that at the beginning of the season, Celtics would be favored by 8, I would have said, wow, that's crazy. Now it's like, no, that's about right.
That's about right.
Lakers +5 at the Hawks. LeBron questionable. Well, they can just bring up Bronny to take his spot. How much of a fall off could there be? Bronny, he deserves it. He's earned it.
Bronny has earned it.
That's right. Kings -5.5 here in San Antonio. That number tells me Victor Wembanyama is probably not playing tonight.
I think the general belief is.
Pacers catching 3.5 at Chicago. Bulls played in San Antonio last night.
Take the Pacers.
Tonight they're in Chicago.
There's no way Chicago can shoot the way they did against us last night. Again, take the Pacers on this one.
T-Wolves a 1-point dog at the Warriors. Warriors pulled off a good home win last night with Steph and Dre sitting on the bench, beat the Rockets.
Not repeatable.
You think T-Wolves will beat them?
Yes.
I think Steph and Dre are playing tonight.
This was a team that was with them, wasn't playing well. I don't know what happened to the Rockets last night.
And then Jazz are +2.5 at the Trailblazers. I refuse to bet the Trailblazers as favorites, so I'll just ignore that game exists whatsoever.
Yeah, they got to play it, though.
There you go. That is the Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, located there at 281 in Bitters, San Antonio's premier card house. You got big plans, Rob? Stephen Jones, 2:30 on the Blitz.
Come and join us. I'll be with Minix today at the Blitz. We're going to be at the Huebner locale for Tri-County Meat Market. They're going to be grilling in the parking lot. Lots of good food and company. Come by and see us 2 to 6.
2:15, I apologize,
Yeah.
Stephen Jones on the Blitz there at Tri-County Meat Market. Been a fun week, boys.
Yes, sir.
We'll do it again next week. We'll see you on Monday. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.